I wasn't able to figure out how to get Splatoon 3 music into Squid beats, so came up with the next best thing I got, I guess. Yeah. Bloop and bloop. I have grabbed Apple and Devi. They are both in Discord here with us. Hi there, Devi.
Hi.
And Brady is also welcome to join us in here if they so choose. I'm about to sneeze.
Cucumber. There we go. Bless you.
Thank you.
There was something in junior high that people, like friends of mine, always did. If someone was about to sneeze, they'd literally just yell cucumber. And then they would sneeze.
Kind of like timber, except for sneezing, I guess.
I don't know why they chose cucumber, but they did.
Neat. Jim acapella channel. I'm gonna be the new Smooth McGroove.
We just gotta get all the guest lecturers now to come and join in on this acapella.
Devi Doovy meet Devi Groovy.
Oh.
Scared of us snipers, chargers. We have weird strategies. Us snipers, chargers. You're playing k52 in your VOD today, Brady. What are you talking about? Oh shoot! Do I still have it set to Splatoon 3? I'm so sorry. This was an honest mistake. If so,
it says 2 for me. Oh, your initial Twitch notification says Splatoon 3.
Oh, because that didn't get fixed. I'm sorry, guys.
But the game's set to 2, but your going live notif that everybody gets from Twitch says Splatoon 3.
Got it. All right, I can fix this. I can fix this. One sec. Because I did actually mean to put something completely different from that. All right, there we go. It's too many characters. Okay.
I love that from Zucchini. You've been ink vacuumed in.
Sorry to bait and switch, folks. I do not have early access to Splatoon 3. As much as I would like to. Turns out that people who are doing that are getting banned. So while I will happily feast my eyes on whatever it is that they happen to be able to show us about the new game, shamelessly, I will not be participating in the modding myself. So, okay. Looks like, alright, I don't think we're going to have Brady in here with us in the voice call. Oops. Come on. Because I told them if you want to join VC Hop in waiting room, and they said I know. So I think that means that they are aware that they have the opportunity to do so and are declining to take advantage of it, and therefore we can just kind of get started here. So today, courtesy of Soliart, we are graced by another picture of Darwin.
Look at him.
He's very good. Okay. And thank you for the subscription, Evie. Face is kind of cut off. Yeah, that's because when I scoot over here, it's going to be better. But right now, I'm just moved over a little bit because I have to be typing things and stuff. Okay.
Oh boy, Apple, you should enjoy these maps.
So I have sent Brady and Apple each the password into the lobby. So hopefully they will be able to join here soon. And then I was requested by Soliart to join. And I was going to let him do that. Sorry, Debbie. We will be seeing more of Devi later on because Devi is our resident Hydra main, and it will be really helpful for giving some advice to Apple here. But it does look like both of them are available, so...
Yeah, I don't want to take your spot.
All right,
you already requested for it, so I can't contend with that, so...
I only meant if there was an opening. I feel bad.
It's up to you guys.
Devi, you can take it. Devi, go
All
ahead. All right.
Come on back in, Devi.
Meanwhile, I my monitor's input, so give me a second for it to change back.
Fun fact, Darwin was just outside getting himself tangled around
A tree.
A tree, I guess.
A
I don't...
tree.
Younge tree? That's probably not the name of it.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be young tree. So baby tree. Midline.
Good job, Darwin. Way to be a dog. We hear noise and then Apple immediately mutes. So I'm assuming something is going on around the house. They're just gonna keep muted for the time being. Oh, look at the comps we've got here. This is probably what I will run. So we're gonna have double booyah, okay, double missile.
I'm figuring it out. Bear with me.
Booyah. Looks like Devi's gonna be playing a little bit more on the aggro side, or on the supportive side rather. This isn't what I would normally run here, but I'm gonna play some T-Tech because I'm trying to generate some momentum for more weapons than just the Tri-Slosher to have Inkjet. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for. There we go. Got it. Seventh comment streak, Mr. TNT. Coming in clutch. How's it going? Just came from Beyond's full ranked mode overview. Maps look so much better. Yeah, so there was a YouTuber by the tag of Beyond that bravely risking combat with the Nintendo Ninjas to bring us early footage of Splatoon 3. Was able to see the YouTube video, as far as I know, is still up, but it will probably be taken down fairly soon. So if you want to see it, I would say see it sooner than later. But it had footage of tower control, On Eeltail, it had clamblets. On what is it? Hagglefish? Is that the one with the like clear plastic pavilion?
I don't remember. I have missiles. 4 left.
Hydra in mid.
We were in there checking things out. Got Hydra.
Hydra's dead.
2 went right.
52 on left.
Yeah, I'm marked.
2 on left. Actually got him with a double
Cool,
bomb.
the last one's right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna move forward. I'm almost
There's a
armor.
chicken chasing him. Watch out, Jim. Hydra.
Yeah. Traded Hydra. One on
okay.
right.
I have armor ready.
Both gals coming out left, I think.
I got
Maybe
Debbie.
one on right.
I know. I'm giving chicken support. One's gonna drop on my head. Oh, I got fall off.
Yeah, we'll need people in front of the tower to be able to push through that. That's a really hard checkpoint.
Yeah, I thought the tower
missiles,
wall was
I'm
gonna
missile,
be
missile.
taken out for me. I'm half to missile, by the way.
How far are you on joke?
Not super close and being engaged on.
I'm gonna pop armor here.
Uh-oh, I'm dead.
Hydra on me, I'm dead.
Yeah, we got, me and Brady got booyah'd to the face.
Yeah, they got Stingray ready.
I'm down to, I think, Hydra. Yeah.
Oh,
Watch right side.
got dualies.
One right elbow.
I'm going.
Pushing it.
That's him.
Oh! Missiling the 2 on the right elbow.
Got one. I'm down.
They're booyahing, they're 2 down.
2 right glass. Maybe
I
3.
can only put chickens out right now. I can't push
They
that.
popped armor. Jeff Array. Halfway to armor. How far are we on specials, guys?
Half.
Less than half. On tower.
Only on tower, got 52.
Using the
Hydra's
wall.
Dang,
back
it's
up to
close.
mid.
Oh, don't be near me, no! Okay.
Dooley's on me, Dooley's dead. I have armor.
One
Moving
left
on the right
carousel,
glass.
They're retreating.
2 in mid, 2 in mid.
Oh, that almost got him.
I have armor if we can pop jet sometime.
Yeah.
Waiting for missile.
Never mind, never mind.
All good.
What got you?
52 on
Okay,
left. Got him.
Hydra on tower.
Jetting it. They're down.
Nice.
Got another.
I have missile.
I'm jumping
Last one's
in.
their court.
Get 3
Go,
down.
go, go. I'm gonna flank in for my carousel.
2 starting on from right.
Three on the right, 3 on the right. Hydra just dropped, 2 on the top.
I have armor.
Hydra under pressure. Got him.
Uh-oh, I got 52 on me.
Fighting him.
K.
Got him.
Woo!
CVS
I
I
on
got power
right.
from here.
Jetting.
You got it?
I'm being
I
missiled.
missiled underneath.
Watch their left pipe.
Yeah, there's left
Dropping
pipe,
on
I
you?
got it.
Got
I
him.
got missiles.
I'm not here.
They're on my jump.
2 on the right and 1 on the left. Oh shoot, gal.
We're 2 down. Just try to take it easy. I'm gonna build a special here. They have 3 specials.
Hydra on tower? No.
Booyah on right.
Oh, that I ran into a curling bomb. My bad.
I'm being solo missile.
There's someone top left. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
coming
there's
across
one
bridge.
pushing
On
in
tower.
the left.
I got 1. I got 2.
One weak under
Under
window.
steps here. Oh, watch out, Apple.
Jetting.
I got 1.
Got him.
Containing mid. Julies are on the right.
Dooley's down.
There is a this way behind us. Is it?
Yeah, there's nobody there.
Okay.
I'm down to
Missing the
right.
right. There's
I
2
dropped.
right, 1 left. I'm on the flank.
Halfway to armor.
1 knows I'm here.
Yeah, careful, Debbie.
Yeah,
Careful.
I'm trying to jump back. They went in middle.
Hydra DC'd.
Okay.
How far are we on
Pressing in.
specials?
Not close, and I'm on a flank right now, so I probably won't have it.
52 engaging
There's
me.
both 52s are on the left. They
I have
one went
armor.
Right.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Popping up. I'm gonna get on tower.
Oh. One on the
VBS
ledge.
ledge. Got him.
There we go.
They're dead.
Left elbow. I'm gonna try and push that back. I can't. It's. Oh shoot.
Got
Watch
one.
out for the booyah.
I'm down.
Going to tower. Got him.
Go, go, go!
On right.
Coming on.
Watch
the
window,
tower.
window. Got him.
Going on tower.
Oh, coming out the elbow. One shot. There's two on the elbow. Watch.
52 down.
There we go.
Nice.
Ooh.
Apple's mic is a bit loud. Got it. I'll turn that down.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's on my end. That's on my end. I have everyone at like 75% volume. So whenever somebody new comes on, they're by default 100% and they're way louder than everybody else.
Oh, dear.
So that's on me. Sorry about that, folks. Apples are very loud fruits. Yeah, okay. They do make
Volume warning.
they do make really loud noises when you bite into them, I guess. But I don't know. Usually they kind of mind their own business. And you know, if you think about it, I would probably make pretty loud noises if something bit into me too. So I can't blame them. Why not make Apple 200%? All right, you asked for it. You asked for it. Apple, say something right now. Apple's being too kind. They did have the opportunity. They were at 200% just now.
Dude.
What's up, Prismo?
He does me.
All right, one stealth jump on the Nautilus.
I'm
One
going
LD.
right.
I'm gonna swear
Coming
on
with you. I'm gonna paint the sandbags here.
Oh,
All right, it's just me over here. I'm backing up.
you Brady, you're
I'm
down.
with you.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't see you down there. It's just us, though, so be careful.
I got one with
I'm
a
gonna
bomb.
bomb tower.
That bomb should have gotten it.
Got
There
him.
you go. I have
Mouse
missiles. The
down.
last one's the charger.
Yeah, Charger's
Charger's
ramp.
on the ramp.
I have jet ready in case we need to
On
go
the
over
wall. On the wall. They're all four coming in. I missiled them. They're up on the wall. Hopefully that'll keep them back a little. Oh, on the... I got one with a missile. Two coming up the wall, Apple. Right in front of us.
K-Pro got me. I need tower.
Nautilus is
We're
blocked.
three down. We're three down. Back off. One behind you, Debbie.
There's one in front of me, but not behind me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, they have to-
Camera
Ready,
angle
watch
screwed me
out.
up. You're good.
They're gonna make a push soon.
One
Careful.
rates. Not, I think.
I am right here. If they go any farther, this...
Got
Let
one.
me shred. Oh.
I was close enough.
Yeah, I'm dead. They're still in the tower.
I'm out.
Pro got me on tower.
We...
I'm gonna jet try and stop tower.
Brady can't... Yeah, Brady can't hear us. I got it. Charges on the right.
Ready.
I got one with a bomb.
Yeah, Charger's right elbow.
Yeah, I'm trying to get tower path back. I have missiles. Missiling 3 in the street by down.
Charged it back. I got one. One jumping in. Tetra's low. Got Tetras.
Nice.
I'm almost to armor.
Okay, watch behind the wall here. I don't trust it.
Someone's flanking left side.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Brady.
All right, I'm gonna keep an eye on right.
I have armor ready when I can pop.
I got not.
Got one.
I have missiles. Missiling. Let's see. Oh,
Charger's
there's one
out of
by
play.
the tower on our street. There's someone by our side somewhere. Uh oh, we have a DC. Apple DC.
Oh no.
I'm going for.
no.
Oh, there's one by the tower. Oh Jesus! You come from.
Got him.
Leave.
Oh my god. Good luck with that.
Remember.
I'll be right back.
I was like, I know how to schmoo, but it doesn't work when there's a stingray on my face. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Da-dun-dun-dun-dun. The majority in their street. I'm gonna wait for the sneak
I'm down to
attack
the ink
here.
shed over the wall.
Okay, I am waiting till the tower hits the corner here because the pro's gonna come right into my trap. Or the charger will.
Not
Okay, I
watching
got
rail. Right underneath bridge. Coming to you. Got him.
I have streets painted. Oh,
Tower's on
I'm
its way back.
gonna
Oh, one on me.
missiling
Got
the
him.
yeah. I missiled the two in front of you on the ramp. One coming out left. I don't know which one it is. One's sharking in the left corner, waiting for the tower.
Got him.
Nice. Okay, all right. There's one in front now.
I'm sniped on nets. Your last.
I know. Chicken spam is fun, guys. I missiled all four right in front of me. I got
One
one
in
with
street.
missiles.
Hit him once.
Chargers on the
He's
wall.
down.
I am going to hold post.
That is his flash down. I am down.
Uh-oh. I'm just gonna... I know I'm close, but I can't take it right now.
One on tower. Hit him twice.
Okay, I'm going
Two in
up right
street. Two
here.
in street. My bad.
Oh, inkjet. There's a lot here.
Down to booyah.
I got one. Oh, I got.
Nice.
Ooh,
One
that was
on nets. One on nets.
That was the. I'm. Yeah.
We need to be on tower.
I know I can't. There's a knot right in front of me.
All right. Hopefully we can get Apple back in on this one. It was close.
If only I did DC.
Man, we're so close yet so far from Splatoon 3. It's a lot of days.
10 days.
It's going to come a lot sooner to some. I know for me it's gonna fly by with being short-staffed at work and everything. It's just gonna be Zoom.
Yeah. I think the thing that's going to make it fly for me is that I really want to get the call-outs video out before Splatoon 3 comes out, because it's all, like, Splatoon 2 footage.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I've been working on that video for a long time, and it's still not done yet. So, might just have to sprint for it and try and, like, get a whole bunch of videos queued up so that I can spend all of my time working on it.
My plan for 3 is that because I'm mostly probably going to be starting playing this in an airport. So my initial plan is race for Steve, because I gotta see what Steve looks like in 3, as long as he's there. And then
Oh, you mean the
recon the
hero
new
version?
maps. Yes, because the hero version is Steve. So I gotta go unlock Steve. This is
A very
gonna be
weird
interesting.
One stealth on the Penna. One object shredder on the undercover.
I'm half to missiles, so
Undercover down.
I
One's
traded
still our
with Luna.
street. It's Hydra. Hydra came left.
get him out of there.
Oh my god. That wasn't the Hydra.
No. Oh! That shouldn't have worked.
Okay, Hydra got me. Oh dear. Left flank. Did I go splash down?
You know,
Got two.
this is a
That's
very
right.
hard
Jumping
debate
in,
for me
jumping in.
because on one case I should be rooting for my Splatling student, but on the other case you're facing a V Hydra. which I am very much a big fan of.
Well, they pushed in with the tent and got my inkjet, so I'm dead.
Under their catwalk is Hydra.
I'm
Good
gonna
checkpoint,
retreat
though.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're getting pinched.
get this guy out of here.
Popping armor here. I'm being chased by a tent umbrella. Help, please.
I did.
Coming.
I'm right here.
I got him. I got him. Ah! I'm being pinched with busies.
Hydra's down at Nets.
I
The
know.
entire
They're
team is
all
there.
on the. They were the
And
entire
they're pushing.
team
They're
was
pushing
to
tower. Get
the
over right.
left.
Get over right.
Oh dear.
The
Yeah, Luna got me.
Oh, there's another one on it.
Oh no.
I'm
Nice.
by a rail.
Still two by
Can't do
tower.
much with the. Pop the baller off. I don't know how I got that one, but I'll take
Still
it.
one under bridge. Bridge. Bridge.
I,
Gotta jump.
I got
That's 3
undercover.
down. Just tent.
they're back in their spawn.
The way that I just got on the tower, by the way, is really important technique so that you don't let it bump you off the ledge. One coming far right from the rail. Tent on right.
Woo!
I got one. One's low behind tower.
Okay, nice. That's 2 down.
The last
Somebody
two
get any?
are middle and left.
Tent is the one. Or tent. Hydra on our left flank.
Yeah.
I'm behind that block there.
I did a dumb thing.
What?
I'm the only one alive. Oh dear.
That is correct. I'm gonna go out far right.
That Luna. I'm going
There's
on
two on
right
me.
catwalk here.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you.
Ah!
Both umbrellas.
Tent umbrella got me. Tent is on our right catwalk.
Got him.
They're down.
Pushing tower.
2 specials already. It's just Luna.
Let's wipe. Push up.
Try to get mid. Don't focus on tower right now. Halfway to armor.
I got the
Far away
left
on
side.
specials.
Guy have missiles.
Come on, there's
Bombing out middle for
Jetting.
you guys. Hydra's coming out
Arm.
left. I am chicken spamming this Hydra.
I have armor.
2 on me. Got 1.
Left catwalk,
Got
Hydra.
2.
I'm gonna missile. Missiled the last 2 in front of you. Hydra's by me though.
That's his armor.
There's 2 pushing me out of ramp.
I got Hydra.
Okay, Hydra's down.
I'm going up. Got one.
Got undercover.
Got Luna.
Got
Got
10.
3. Just the Hydra.
Nice. Thank you.
Missiling the Hydra back.
Hydra
just
behind
so it's
pillow.
held. Yeah. I'm using their sponge as a shield.
Hydra behind the sponge.
Yep.
Down to bomb.
Ah!
Good lead.
I got
We
lead.
got lead.
We don't have to keep going. Just stay alive and get special.
Escape route.
Do they have ball already?
I'm gonna keep an eye on the left, but bomb middle.
Oh, Luna.
Nice pick. Flanking the... Oh, they bollard.
I got a baller on me. Yeah.
I got flanked. I was busy trying to help you guys.
Got 1. Hydra weak. There's another one there. Another one to bear back up.
I'm gonna be in the way of the
you
tower
can
path.
throw these empty deodorant containers away.
Let them know that they're on stream.
I got the Hydra.
What?
You're collecting, right?
No. No, I gotta clean my.
Oh, memory.
How about putting your video game away?
I will just wait for a minute before I do the unmute.
Yeah. That's probably a conversation that we don't need to be privy to. Should give Splatanas the unique ability to shred Brella shields. Just like a knife would cut up an umbrella. I can see it. On the other hand, I don't know that it's the Brellas that need a nerf. Maybe against splash walls? That'd be nice. We need something to make it so that we don't just have another k52 in Splatoon 3. we've already trained up our Zap players and our K52 players in Splatoon 2. Like, they've already got practice at a competitive level on those weapons, pretty much the same way they're going to get played in Splatoon 3. We don't need them to be strong again. They're a windshield wiper. How sharp do you think they are? Valid point, however.
One's a chainsaw.
That is true. We got Brady on the charger now.
You know, the nice part about these maps is that these maps are both double backline viable.
That is true. Definitely not the worst maps to have this on. Your windshield wipers aren't razor sharp for cutting through ice. You're right. You're right. I'm a fake Midwesterner.
I mean, I'm Canadian and they're not sharp.
Well, maybe they should be. That's all I'm saying.
They need to, you know what, they need to be really fancy and have, like, some kind of, heating mechanism.
Yeah, that'd help. Hi, Blobs.
Because we go through windshield wipers like nothing when we're trying to get them unfrozen from the windshield.
Customer
Love you too.
Met a customer at my job that plays Splatoon. He saw me watching gameplay of it. Pog. Actually, so recently I had to go out and buy a new AC adapter because the one that I actually own got left in Denver, and I need that for many reasons. So I went out to a GameStop to buy one, and it turns out the employee is also a competitive Splatoon player. Plays for one of the Splat-a-lot teams. So that was neat.
Oh, going against Krim, I think.
This is probably like +3 level.
It's a pickup of players because there's.
Yeah. Because like a Hydra is not a.
It's not a
on
Hydra.
the same team.
You want to know what's funny? Is we ran into him yesterday during Hydra crimes and haunted them for not being a Hydra.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
I thought that was
Radish
funny.
from Pizza Party, right? Radishes?
Yeah, I remember them from Inkai, but I don't
They
know
have
what they're
armor
on
already.
now.
So this is
I
gonna be
almost had
a
missiles.
pretty well coordinated
I
team.
got missiles. Okay, 2 on the far right, 2 coming in left. I missiled the 2 left.
Tetra's trying to
I'm
push
halfway
in the middle.
missile.
They armored.
Alright, waiting
I'm
for the
almost to
armor to
my
be
armor.
over, and then I'll try and do stuff.
Oh, I
Pushing
missiled.
in the
They
mid.
know. I have to,
I'll
I have
pop
to
mine
leave.
up.
Tetra's glass. Tetra's weak. Got
I
him.
have armor.
Waiting out the rain
I'm being
here.
ambushed by 2 on left side.
Right is Blob. Jetting. Blob got me.
I'm waiting for an opportunity to go in.
Bob in mid. Tetra's left.
Careful, Debbie.
Blast.
I got tower.
Nice. There's one on left.
Yeah, there's
I got
2 in
Tetra's
front of tower.
Tetra's got me.
It's okay, they don't have objective.
Yeah,
I'm
they don't have
stalling
towers.
as much as I can. I'm down to missiles, but I got the junior.
Oh no, I dropped.
Tower's
They're
down. Another
shirking
one
on
on
the
tower.
right.
I'm down. Still tower too.
Be careful, Apple. I don't have any of that
Yeah.
painted right now.
I'm getting out of there. I don't know why I dropped. Watch out for missiles.
Oh,
Jetting.
2's hiding around the corner. They have a wall. They're having a hard time taking
Several by
tower. 2
tower.
are down. I missiled the 2 on tower.
Blob
They
weak.
popped armor.
Nice.
Blob. Oh dear. I'm being missiled again.
Yeah. They have one. Ooh! Hello. Tetras are
Who's on
one.
tower.
Darn it.
Yeah,
Oh,
tower
They're
is
coming in.
backed
They're
up.
pinching in from both sides.
I couldn't move.
2 behind tower. That's one. Another one up on top.
I just can only throw bombs right now.
I'm being
Oh, hello.
displaced right now. I can't do much.
It's alright.
Tetras are after me.
2 on tower. 1 weak.
Got Tetras.
I'm not used to the 5-shot. Probably try K-shot, actually.
Nice. I'm gonna land on tower,
Oh,
got
I
him.
missed all 4.
Several below window. We need to get some paint out.
Yeah, I'm trying. I am literally moving out as much as I can.
2 under window.
I'm below you, Jim.
Jetting. Got 1.
Nice, Tetras down.
Blob's above
Another
me,
one
by the
left.
way.
Blob right
mid.
glass.
Almost a missile. Missling. Okay, 1 underneath carousel, 2 on the far right, 1 mid.
K-shot
I
weak
got armor
right.
already.
1 glass. They're gonna push me out right. I need to back up.
Oh, I'm gonna die. I couldn't jump out in time.
Being missiled.
I'm down on left. It came through carousel. K-shot.
Yeah, I need to get out of here.
Yeah,
I know.
jump,
They're
jump.
they're
Okay,
flanking
never
straight too.
mind.
Yep.
I try to back
They're
out.
already up underneath our block here. Got
Nice,
1.
that's 2 down. They do have both specials. Watch for splashdown.
Watch for the top armor too.
Oh, found the dualies.
Find you, Debbie. Got him.
Thank you. Hey, look, I went fishing.
Junior on me.
Yeah. Oh,
There we
go.
I dropped.
Four on the right. 4 on the right. They're back in mid. You're okay.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
need
try
to
to
push
push
up and
left.
take space here.
Had
I
the
have
right
armor
side,
ready.
left side painted.
Blob in the right glass.
Yeah.
Goes Junior.
Tetra's on right with me.
Kevin,
They
careful.
got me.
Tetras are low.
They're in elbow. Coming behind you.
I don't know where to go right
Hey,
now.
behind
There's
you.
a lot
Oh,
happening.
behind
Yeah.
me.
They're
Dear.
they're literally in every corner. You
Oh,
can't
dear.
stop that.
No, I can't.
Need help with the Tetras?
Wait, you were the only one there at the time. I was respawning.
Yeah. And I'm dead.
Yeah, when you went in, Gem, we had both of the charging weapons charging, and I just came out of spawn. I couldn't help you.
Yeah, well. It was either go in then
tried.
or...
Yeah, no, you tried. You tried. You weakened them. I did get them afterwards, but...
I definitely had a hard time positioning myself with both the missiles and the Tetras in my face.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. Also, fun fact, the Tetras we just fought recently won Shine, which is a LAN tournament that happened this past weekend. Yeah.
Just tried the Hydra day because I was bored. I was thinking I was going to be trash with it, but I really liked it. I thought the Hydra was trash before that. We have a
you
new
would have had
convert.
me...
We have a new convert
You
to the
would've-
Cult of Devi.
you know, the glasses I'm wearing on the end zap right now, my eyes would have looked like that if we still had that initial thought. But hooray,
I
we
would
don't
be
have that
balling.
initial thought.
I would
We've
be
got
balling.
more to my army.
Pretty funny. Okay, oh, that's me, leader. One stealth jump on the bucket, one object starter on the zap. I'm gonna start on our wall
Half
here.
missile. I have missile basically. There we go. I missile one on their wall, 2 their street, 1 far left.
Wall is displaced.
Behind tower.
Pushing great, pushing great. Got him.
Zap's one below
Yeah,
me.
there's another one on the corner here. Got him. Oh,
see
another
that
one on the
They
corner.
have jet ready, they have jet ready.
Got him.
Jet down, nice, nice. Watch out for you, leader.
I'm giving them a hard
Leader's
time.
wall, leader's wall.
Thank you. I got tower, I'm halfway to armor.
One ramp.
Ah, you leader got me.
Leader down.
Trying to save Gem.
I'm good.
There we go.
I'm jumping to Brady.
Yeah, you're okay.
That one's
there,
coming on
actually.
left flank.
There's 2 on
Yeah,
left.
I see that. There's 2 on left. I missiled them. They're not gonna want to go up very far.
One going rail.
take tower for now because they're far back.
Placed a mine in our. Oh, flank.
2 on me, so you should be good on tower for now.
Yeah,
I'm down now.
Well,
Leader going over rail.
There's a jet.
I'm at least
armored
breaking
jet walked
checkpoint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now just back off and fight.
I am
Zap
getting
slow,
out.
that's Zap. I'm down.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Jet back in our
come
left
back in on
flank.
the right. Yeah. Gem, I'm gonna come through mid and try to get close
Yeah,
to.
that
Never
was-
mind.
it was a bad jump.
On the right side. I'm gonna go to
that's
catwalk.
range. Careful, the leader's
Oh,
watching.
E-leader,
Yep.
yeah, he saw me.
Note, the safest way for you is actually swimming underneath. When there's a leader watching that, the rail is is your doom. Missile the tower.
Well, I'm dead to the baller.
Brady's down by your rail.
I got 2.
Nice job. Push tower.
I
leader
can't,
knows where I
can't,
am.
I can't hit it. Oh, they fell. They didn't fall in the water. Yes, they did. There we go.
Let's try to get mid. L3,
Ramp,
L3,
ramp,
my
ramp.
squad.
Yeah, no, we can't get mid. I'm trying to come in from behind though. All right, let me get these out of here. 3,
Oh.
their street.
I'm sniped. 3 in mid. They're gonna back
I
up a
pushed
little
them
bit.
back with.
Don't go
They're
in yet, Debbie,
way
we're not in
back on their
position.
ramp. I know. I'm not going in yet. I'm just bombing. Oh, that's a bad jump.
L3's low. I need help in mid.
On my way.
It's just you 2.
Got 1.
I got 1. Yeah.
Zap's low.
Nice.
There we go.
Or 2 down. I'm gonna get on tower.
Leader under bridge.
Almost
Got him.
On the
behind, behind tower, behind tower. I'm gonna die to rain.
See that? Oh, the bucket was there.
Oh dear. Jemmy, you're
Sorry.
alone. Careful.
I picked the wrong fight. I thought it was the nozzle nose and not the bucket.
Yeah, they rushed me on left elbow, so they're not around
Okay.
tower. We can push that.
No,
Probably.
there's 2 on the right.
E-leader.
I have to wait. There's one right above me. Oh no, I broke 2 armors, but I can't fight this.
E-leader 1.
Leader down. I'm getting jetted.
Yeah.
Bucket's flanking.
Deny the tower.
Here.
Jet dropped on ramp.
Bucket's on our right. Catwalk. Was.
4 in mid, 1 going right.
I'm sniped.
I have armor. Oh, we're 2 down. Play safe.
Yeah.
E-leader knows where I am.
I'm gonna come behind you here and help you and be a distraction.
I have armor.
I must have missiles. I'll get the leader out of the way shortly. Okay, getting the
Bucket's
leader out of the
one.
way.
They popped armor as well.
Oh, there's 2 here. I pushed the leader back.
1 on great.
I got L3 on me. L3 on me.
L3 down.
Nice.
Leader in
Good job.
mid.
Bucket's on me. Got bucket, but they got me.
I couldn't do much. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. The extra slosh is what finished me off. Another one's coming on the right side. Careful.
I see him. It's Zap. I got a hit on Zap.
Got him.
No.
I'm getting
Ah,
behind
bucket
you.
on me. Bucket on me.
One in
behind you,
middle.
Zap.
I see him.
There's a L3
I
here too.
missed my last shot. They fell though.
Oh dear. There's an. I can't fight this. I don't have the range.
Leader on tower. Doing a jump.
Tower.
I thought I hit.
Got 1.
E-leader.
Leader picked it.
E-leader's out of position. Punish him. Punish him.
Okay, after you
We
look
should
forward,
focus
you
tower
look forward.
path because we need tower in 10 seconds.
Well, I can't get there, and I'm gonna be the closest to it. There's a bucket here, and I'm really weak.
I couldn't get that.
Pedestal
Watch the bell.
things! I missiled the 2 on the right. There's 3 on the right.
I got
Oh, that's
tower
the
leader.
leader. No, you need to go
Where's
take
leader?
cover
Where's
on the
leader?
left
Where's
here.
leader?
On that wall. Someone's coming left, Julie. Oh, leader left
Oh.
now. Leader left. Oh, there's a bucket here too.
Bucket on their wall.
Bucket is
Zap on their
down.
wall.
Oh, I got sniped. Leader's far left still.
I traded with Zap.
Damn, I'm gonna try to jump to you as fast as I can.
I'm
Oh,
down.
No.
Oh dear.
Get on, get on.
I'm not there.
Ah.
No.
Wow, I can't jump.
Oh, the tower moved just ahead and the ink stopped me. I was like, I can't.
The leader picked me off at the last second.
Yeah, it went behind. It did the hey, you're not gonna expect me here move.
Hi, Annie.
My biggest fear is you eater.
Well, guess what? We're gonna fix that.
And yes, there were a lot of people falling off the map on that match.
That was funny. Okay, during the overtime push, the bucket was on the grate, right? When we were going past the second check or the first checkpoint. And they literally, like, last hurrah'd it, jumped off Slosh to try to get me off the tower while I'm, like, hiding behind the pedestal so I block its ink and just jumped off the grate, hoping it was gonna get me off and into the abyss it went. I was like, what?
I saw that.
Yeah, you had first view of it. I was like, okay.
Like, okay, moving on. I need to familiarize myself with triggerfish.
Honestly,
We're
so
so
the way
long.
this stream works is that I have Brady and Apple here who have both submitted recordings of them playing the game. And what I'm going to do after we've finished playing League with them to power, so 2 more games, is we're going to go and watch their videos over and talk about the decisions they made and talk about how they can improve from what we're seeing in the matches that they're playing. So hopefully that answers your question. I miss Whale. Oh my god. This is so true.
Dear.
Why are they making us feel this way?
Aww. In all honesty, I don't have either of those specials on the weapon I felt most comfy with.
Yeah,
So-
you're just like I miss Booyah.
I like the Booyah Bomb as a special. Can I say I miss the chicken though? Like a
I
chicken
miss
with
the chicken,
special.
too.
I miss the chicken.
You have the chicken on the V Hydra.
I know, but the special is also a good thing because I use custom more in competitive. I missile the 3 on the left. You're good. I'll
Chargers
push in
on
with
left.
you on the
I'm
left side.
Yeah, push left
Okay.
hard.
Yeah. Going.
Can you go on right glass here?
There's
I'm
2.
I
almost
got a jet
armor.
to help.
Uh,
Got 1.
They
Oh,
went
that
way
was so
back on
close to
elbow.
directing. Man. Alright,
jumping
just
into
you, Apple,
and
be
I'll
careful.
maintain left. Charger's gonna be up here first.
They've been pushing left really hard.
Yep, they have. There's a
Yep,
leader here.
armor.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
not annoy this leader.
The leader left grass.
Watch out, Apple. Watch out.
Now'd be a good time for armor.
I had a zap on me. Right glass
Yeah.
zap. They have 3 specials.
They popped bomb rush.
I'm only half to mine. Oh, this is
I'm
bad.
also
Give up
half.
space,
I'm
don't
just
die.
getting out. I'm getting out.
I'm just gonna pay for special here. I can't do much right now.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
have missiles.
We probably have to give
I'm
up
missing
first
for
check.
mine. Yep.
One underneath me on left.
Oh,
Hey,
this one
leader.
on the right.
Leader targeting me.
Oh,
Got 1.
hey, Zap.
They're 2
I
down.
traded. Holy crap, Apple. If I didn't
would've
trade that, that would have been bad.
Left glass
Okay,
leader.
I gotta,
punch.
I gotta
Nice.
re-get paint for missile.
I have armor here.
1 in on right mid. They
Throw a
rotated
bomb at
left.
it.
Several
Yeah,
on left,
I'm
several
here.
on left. I'm backing
I am missiling the left. You're good, you're good, you're good. I can push it with you, but there's some on the right. Oh dear! I've
I
been
got
juked.
sniped.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm backing up here. Doing a jump.
That's a scary jump.
Yeah.
I have armor.
Oh,
A leader
right
knows
glass.
I'm here. Right glass. Pop armor here so
Uh-oh,
we can
I'm
get out
dead.
of here.
Oh, I said I was gonna switch to K-shot and I didn't. Whoopsies. One's going way back around the other side on their left with the leader.
Yeah, there's 1 left carousel. I'm just gonna zone them. They're in the corner. Jump.
Trying to give
They
you a
ran
round.
down
Down.
right side.
Another one from above.
There's Apps down.
I'm just painting over the rain here because I'm gonna get missiles from it.
Right glass.
Close to it. Oh yeah, I'm here.
Got him.
Good. Left one on apple. I tried.
Got one.
Two down, two down.
Leader's still left.
Yeah, I'm gonna missile that out. Their court and their.
Let's get tower
coming in
moving.
for
There's 3
one.
down.
Yeah, I can move it.
All right,
Until one comes in. Okay, Apple, you
Yeah,
want
not
this?
anymore.
Yeah,
Right
I got
ledge
tower.
or left ledge.
Oh, your leader got me.
Careful, careful,
Left
careful.
side.
Yeah, we if we were gonna move, we needed to go a little sooner. My bad for calling it. They're already back in mid by the time we did anything. Got one.
How? How is this
No,
working?
they popped armor.
They did pop armor. Oh dear. I am one shot and there's 2 on me in carousel
There's
left.
one on the carousel.
There's 2.
A-leader.
One's gonna
is
flank.
still there.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah,
Leader's not on
That's
me,
one
got
of
him.
2. They're behind. They're gonna come in behind you from mid probably.
Traded.
Yep. We're down.
Oh, spill for special.
This is where I spam chickens.
Hi to Timothy and Kamani.
I have missiles. I'm gonna use
They
those
popped
on the
armor.
left here. There's 3 left. 1 on our elbow.
Yeah, I need to get out of here.
Yeah. They're pushing around on left.
A-leader's low.
Several on left, several on left.
I got one.
Still coming, still coming.
Zap, Splash
Help
is low.
Apple left if you can.
Shot.
A-leader no.
They're weak. They
Got
jumped out.
one.
I have armor.
I have missile.
I need to try to get some space in mid.
2 on the left.
I see him.
I've got jet ready.
Alright, you pop jet, I'll pop armor.
Okay, after the missiles.
I'm marked. I gotta.
I'm popping it now.
One their ledge.
I got tower. Watch out. Oh, E-leader. Stop shooting on, never mind.
There's a lot on the right.
Leader watching right. There's a bunch of, yeah.
I'm trying to
In
get
mid
up
now?
there in time.
Oh, we needed to be on.
I was just trying to get up there because I missiled the one that was in front of me, and I'm just like, okay, I will do this and then go for tower, but I didn't make it in
Yeah.
time.
I should have been running for it sooner, but it was a 1v3.
I missiled 3, and then I threw a chicken at the one that was in front of me before I missiled, so I backed all 4 of them up, and then I tried to rush for tower.
Alright, one more, and then we're gonna go into the VOD reviews. Seeing higher level gameplay than where I'm at. Yeah, I agree. I like watching higher level gameplay than where I'm at. I learn a lot from that.
I always find it funny whenever I watch a high-level Frontline's point of view, and I'm like, my head is spinning.
Yeah, Tri-Stringer player is going to be giving themselves motion sickness using Fia's painting technique.
Yeah, just a bit.
There were so many people that were commenting that they get motion sickness from that, and I'm like, oh no, this is so unfortunate, because this is also so necessary on this weapon.
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
it is
can't
so
paint
slow to
very
paint
well.
if you can't do that.
Something that I was finding useful with the Tri-Stringer, though, is like, it's not gonna be the most effective paint thing, but it is actually quite effective when it comes to poke. So if you have, like, like a team that has, like, your painter, your slayer, the stringer's actually gonna poke pretty decently with its explosive arrows. So, because I know that actually gave me a bit of issues, in some points where I ran into competitive players actually playing the Tri-Stringer. They would keep launching it in certain areas that we were gonna push from, or they would use it to get me out of a prime position, and then they poke me enough for their front line to come in and literally just hit me with a shot and I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
So Tri-Stringer plus Burst Bomb is actually going to be I don't wanna. No.
I'm just like, there are definitely things that it can do, but also
Yeah.
that's
It's
what
really
a rapid
weak and
blaster
close-up.
does.
Yes, but
Like that's pretty much exactly the same playstyle there, and
It's
feels more
quicker.
consistent with the rapid.
yeah, it is a bit quicker though, rather than getting the burst. So it is quite weak in close 1v1s, but it does have its advantages and disadvantages. So 3 on the right, 1 left.
They got me from right. Zap. Nice
I
pick.
got him.
Watch out on left. There's still one left glass, and we're
Left
split.
glass, kick out.
Got the one on left.
Are they pushing?
Take it down. I'm gonna go left glass.
One left glass, or glass. They're down, nice. One on me in mid, got him.
Nice.
Just
Charger
the
right.
Lost armor.
tower.
Pressuring leader.
Apple, do you want this after?
There's
Yeah.
another one gonna be on me on right. I'm not gonna push it.
Look out!
That was my bad.
I'm
Yeah.
down to zap on right.
Basically, like, solo the Tri-Stringers kit doesn't really do it well, but in a team setting, I can see it actually being kind of a nuisance.
I'm getting missile.
Apple, I know, I'm painting your feet. I'm gonna missile back. There are 3 underneath the tower, 1 in mid.
You lead her in mid. Should've seen that sooner.
I got the zap, but I died to a burst
Nice.
bomb.
Oh dear. I'm being missiled.
Oh, it's new.
I got K-Gal, gonna die to
Ow.
missiles.
I just got sniped right away as soon as I peeked.
I'm pretty sure I recognize the one, if I'm not mistaken.
Alright. Just focus tower. E-leader isn't in a position where they can hit most things.
I
Nice.
got blaster.
Oh,
You lead
what
her
a
right
He
glass.
has left glass.
Ow.
I got 2.
Nice.
Is there still someone tower?
No.
No, you lead her
Just-
left glass.
just
Or
lead her,
right
okay.
glass. Oh
You get shot by the leader?
no! Yeah.
No, one,
yeah, I
one
got
in window,
shot.
one window. Or court. Got
Nice,
one.
get back.
Right glass. Pushing me. Nice.
Got K-Gal.
Watch leader left.
Apple, careful, I'm
Yeah,
behind you, but I'm painting.
yeah.
Yeah. I want to wait till we have a... Okay, I missile 2. One start flanking!
Where?
Right, I
Blasted
got
down,
one.
But I died.
I got 2.
So 2
Leader
down.
watching.
Careful. Brady.
Traded leader.
Brady's really far back. I'm not too sure what Brady's waiting for.
A-leader down.
There's one on right
Try
somewhere,
and
I
take
think.
mid. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch here.
Yeah,
In
several by
front of you,
tower,
Debbie.
several by
Debbie,
tower.
I know.
Got one.
Oh my God.
One's weak on tower.
Grim,
52
right
down.
glass.
Blaster on me.
I'm trying to paint for you, but that's the best I can do.
Got leader.
I'm
One
half
in
the
mid.
missile.
Blaster got me from
One
right.
right carousel again. I got one.
A-leader far right.
Blaster's been dropping off right the whole time. I got him. Pushing leader.
A-leader knows where I
Oh,
am.
Booyah. Yeah. I got Booyah.
Leader down.
K-Gal's low on tower.
Tower down.
Nice.
One behind
you?
me. I'm down.
I couldn't help
Jumping
you.
Brady.
Jump out if you need to, Debbie.
I'm gonna. I just kited back.
Zab, drop below, left carousel.
This is probably a bad jump. Oh wait, I have...
You're fine, you're fine.
Got one.
A-leader knows where I am.
Where's leader?
2 left, 1 far right. Leader far right.
Blaster tower.
One on
I
tower.
think.
Ooh.
Got him.
You're
No,
down.
it's
I don't know
fine.
why
Missile,
I'm
missile.
here, but I'm here.
Blaster's on right. They dropped for me.
I have
Got him.
armor. Pop it.
3 on
jumping
right.
far
3
right.
on right.
Woo! I got the zap. Oh, there's another one. Brady's really far behind.
I was gonna jump back. Your leader got me.
Brady's
Alright,
positioning
leader.
kind of like how a charger is at the moment, so...
Ah, I'm down to 52.
Got
Good
one,
pick.
don't worry.
We're gonna need to be on tower in 10.
I'm trying.
Help Debbie.
I'm coming.
The blaster right here, too.
Blaster's low.
Ah!
No, your leader got me. I'm
Oh,
alright.
Jesus.
They're 2 down. Your leader far
No.
right.
Leader down. One more underneath. Court. They're weak. Got him. That's wipe.
Jumping in.
Stay on the tower! I'm gonna go forward when I get on the tower, by the way.
Traded zap. One on the blaster. Blaster with leader watching
Thank-
through as well.
I'm down. Blaster poke.
I couldn't. I tried.
It was a good try.
I didn't have enough time to get the bomb down.
All right. So that'll do it for that league session. I think what we'll do is start off with Apple and then close with Brady. So give me just a second to get all set up.
This is where we all say one, guys.
Also, I am projecting and putting this up in Discord. And here's this, which is black for now, but worry not. We shall fix that. Here it is. Oh, and this is actually not sized correctly, so we'll fix that too. All right. Now, I wish I could rotate this, because it's a little bit sideways. We could actually, if we could rotate it, just straighten it out. But this should work out. We'll just have to tilt our heads a little bit sideways together. So this is, I think, S+ level Snapper Canal tower control with Apple once again on the Hydra, like we saw in League battles today. Playing against an E-leader. Now, one thing that I'm going to be doing a little bit here is going back... Oop, this is the wrong one. We should be on... And this is Snapper Tower, so I'm in entirely the wrong place. We'll fix this up here real quick. So this is a document that I believe I have linked in the resources section of the Discord server. This is made by Devi, and this is a list of positions that Devi likes to take as a backliner. Devi does play Hydra, so some of these positions might be a little bit too long ranged if you're trying to play something like a heavy. But in general, this is a really good kind of cheat sheet for thinking about how you want to play on a given map. And
I did actually make this with considering all backlines in mind, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So some of the non-traditional spots actually fit better for heavies than like an E-leader or a Hydra, but they are the general positions for majority of the backlines in kind of a given area. So I did consider all backlines in mind when I made these.
Yeah. I remember, for instance, when I was first learning Steve, going onto like Snapper, for example, and taking a couple of positions where I was like, you know, if I had like a few units more of range, I could actually hit mid from here.
Yeah, like take the defensive street one, for example. You can be a little further than that if you wanted to, but that's just a general opening spot where you see the defense or the starting happen majority of the time. So it's not just that exact spot. You can actually be up a little bit farther if you're just normal charger or heavy, but that's like, I want to say 80% of the time, that's where you'll generally see a backline, no matter which one it is.
So we might refer back to that in a bit, but for now, let's get this started.
Oh, someone asked the difference between traditional and non-traditional on my points. Non-traditional is what I like to call the aggressive flank points. So it's something you wouldn't expect Like, for example, on the snapper one on the overhead, I marked the enemy snipe as a non-traditional. You don't see most backliners up there. In higher level of play or higher X rank, yes, you will see them there because they know their weapon well enough to be there. But I call them non-traditional because I don't recommend them for beginners. They're once you're comfortable with your weapon and you can aggress really well with your weapon kind of spot to take.
There we go. All right. And also, sometimes it's just good to take those sorts of positions because they're unexpected. And somebody who is, familiar with the game at your level may not see that one coming or be looking for it. So, we start off rolling out on Snipe. And immediately a teammate gets picked, which is super unfortunate. One of the nice things about Snipe here is that as the tower comes around towards the first checkpoint, it comes really close to Snipe, and it is right here that you have a ton of control over it. You can hit both sides of the tower and really help to clear someone off of it. And the opposing Snipe cannot reach you, so this is a relatively safe position. But also a really conservative one, because this is not going to help you very much if the tower starts pushing in your direction. Well, we just had a teammate get sniped immediately, so this is a pretty good place to be, all things considered.
I have to actually counter-inject that. This is actually a bad place to be as a start when you're facing an E-Leader. E-Leader can actually hit you at the peak of your own snipe.
They can hit you, okay.
Yes, it can. So my recommendation is not to actually start Sniper Street, but you need to stay on Snapper. I DM'd you this, Gem, but you have to be beside it rather than out of range, because on most maps you can stay symmetrical to an E-Leader and stay out of range, like Wahoo, for example. You can be on your left side, the E-Leader will be on its right side.
Here, let's draw some pictures, because I'm sure I'm not even following perfectly myself. And so I'm sure for viewers at least, yeah, Wahoo map sounds good. So the Hydra on the left-hand side, so as if you're standing on the left-hand side. So where do you want that drawn?
Like like on the bridge.
So here?
Yeah. And the E-Leader's on their bridge. On a map like Wahoo, you can stand in this position and actually outrange it by just basic backing up, or you can you have the ledge.
By outrange it, you mean like you can get out of its range, so it can't hit you?
You can just walk backwards and then walk back in, or just take the ledge, and the E-Leader's not going to be that much of a difference. And so the way you play that is, say the E-Leader ends up taking it would be their right, so basically they're like behind the glass on their right side.
Over here?
Yeah, right there. You'd play the opposite side. So you stay face to face to them, you know where they are, and you can play to their range. That way you're both kind of pinning out each other and kind of canceling each other out. As long as you don't move into its range, then you're fine. A map like Snapper, you don't have that privilege. You're pushed back further, you're further back on your own snipe. And then you can't really see anything underneath or help defend anything underneath, or your shots aren't going to do much in mid. It's maybe going to hit the edge of middle. The E-Leader can hit you from the peak of the snipe as long as it's forward enough. So what you want to do is stay beside it. So if you see the E-Leader on their snipe, you want to be on the right hill or behind the bike. No, the right hill. Your right hill. Other one.
This is the right-hand side.
No, if it's your side.
You said your right hill, though. So
yes,
our
because
right.
Okay, look at where your dot is, okay? That
right
is
here?
you. You're right.
So right here.
That's left.
Devi.
No.
Right side is over here, left side is over here.
But you're taking it as if, okay, you see the colors? You're taking as if it's the purple side, though.
Both of them are red.
No, look at the spawn colors. It's the other hill anyway.
So this is purple.
Yes, so
this
purple's
green.
left, green's right.
Why are we assuming we're the E-Leader?
I thought you put that as the Hydra.
No.
Okay, that would make sense now. Okay, anywho. So we're saying that the one on top is the E-liter now?
Yeah, that's what it's always been, because I drew the range here, where, look, it can hit this spot right here.
Okay, so anyway. So if it's this case, if this is the Hydra that you have picked up, put it to the right-hand side.
Over here.
There we go. Because now you have a wall in between you and the laser. That charger can't hit you when it's on snipe. The only time it's gonna be a threat to you is if it jumps down into their street. But if it goes down into their street, then again, you can play the range because you actually have more spots where you can back up and go forward, and you have like a little block in the middle as well, helping to protect that. And at this point in time, if the E-liter jumps down, you should have somebody in middle using the tower as protection that can also ambush the E-liter. So this is not a great position for the E-liter to be in, but a benefit for you and a teammate to pinch. So you always want to be beside it rather than in front of it on a map like Snapper, especially during the opening.
All right, thank you for that explanation, Devi. As much grief as I gave you for it. All right. So it looks like the E-liter is content to focus on the ground level here. But what you do succeed in doing is getting a pick there and getting a pick off the tower, even staying on the right-hand side here. And that is the point at which the snipe position is the strongest, is when the tower is in that exact spot. And you just happen to be able to hit shots at that time. So this does work out for you. The E-liter, I will say, you know, knowing now that it can hit this ledge, there were a couple of moments there where you were exposed to that and they didn't take advantage. But not too bad. So next what happens, because I'm getting a little ahead of myself, is we see someone go up with the Booyah, and you as a Hydra, you know, have this urge to shred the Booyah bomb because you're one of the weapons that's best capable of doing that. Now, we know that this player is the only one in front because the only other player that we need to worry about is the E-liter. I would still be worried about the E-liter if you're poking out in this direction. Like if you get too close to this, the E-liter might have range on you. But what happens is they throw the Booyah. And they throw that Booyah before you're able to get shots on. So you're like, oh, well, they already threw it. They're going to be safe now. And they threw that pretty precariously close to you. And I think I'm definitely, you know, when I see this, I'm reacting faster. Like, that gets pretty close right here. So this angle of the Booyah bomb, I'm basically the thought process in my head, really. Because I can say, oh, I would have reacted to that faster. But how? The thought process here is, as soon as I go to shred a Booyah, I always have an escape route in my head for if they throw that Booyah bomb at me. And I need to have two different options at all times because it is a circle, and they can throw it anywhere. So if I have only one escape route and they throw it on me but also behind me, now that escape route is cut off. If I have two escape routes, it doesn't matter which direction they throw it. I always have a way. So at this point, what I want, like as soon as it gets thrown, is to have a way to the left and a way behind me, ideally. Because if this gets thrown too far behind me, I'm just kind of stuck and forced out into the open or something.
And that's what happened here.
Right. In general, like once it gets thrown, the thought should first be, can I survive the Booyah bomb? And it looks like we tunnel a little bit on trying to get the pick. And it's especially not as important to get the pick here because you have a teammate who's right on top of them as soon as they land. So they might, you know, they've got a pretty good shot of doing it. But we probably don't need to die to this Booyah here. We can probably react in time to get away from that. So we get caught out a little bit, and it's a little bit messier. Team ends up on the tower, but now E-liter is back, and they're, I think the junior's throwing bombs at them. So I don't expect this to survive for too long without frontliners going up over the top and being able to clear this. So I'm setting up for neutral probably in this position. And in fact, the teammate wisely got off the tower and then pops armor. Okay, so I do like the idea of pushing over to the right-hand side, in part because it lets you be a little bit more aggressive and have a little bit more of an impact in fights. Having to commit to like dropping down off snipe every time you want to fight anything is a little bit scary. But this isn't a bad position to be in necessarily. Like, Devi was saying, this is a position she likes to take. Unfortunately, a player does go down before you're able to get in position, and then another follows. So cool splash down there, teammate. That's not going to accomplish much. Hopefully they don't go in.
It's a position I like to take when there isn't an E-leader on snipe. Otherwise, I'm on the right corner because I'm still in the tower path and the E-leader can't hit me.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily dislike this positioning as long as you can stay away from the E-leader laser. Like if you get up maybe behind this or something like that, that maybe gives you an angle up to here or over to here if someone pushes you. But this is generally pretty exposed with that like minor exception of being behind here. What you want to be thinking is like, where does the tower have to go? Where can I have an impact on that? Or I think in your case, rather than, my frontline instinct of where does the tower have to go, so what do I need to clear? For you, it's more, where is the tower going to get pushed from? How can I get a safe angle on that player? I think from here, it would be really advantageous to be on top of a hill, because then you can shoot down at anybody who's trying to jump across.
Okay.
It might also be good to be in right street if you want to take that sort of flank angle that Devi was talking about, where, again, the E-leader can't hit you, but you can prevent people from getting to this jump point. It's just, once the tower pushes a certain ways past that, now there's this hole of mid, this really exposed area that is in between you and the tower, and I don't know how you progress the push from there. So my feeling here, and I'll ask for Devi's opinion in a second, but I feel like you might want to start rotating to the left here so you can get out of E-leader range and also start having an impact on the first checkpoint here where the tower is most likely going to be able to make it to. What do you think, Devi?
Yep, that is my thought exactly. I've discovered that majority of the first checkpoints on comp maps, or just majority of the maps in general, are not backline friendly to ride. You actually have more of a power position meeting them at whether you can guard them while they're at first checkpoint, and still be in a place where you can clear to the next checkpoint, and then you can move again afterwards, because a lot of the fighting is going to happen at the second checkpoint, so you're going to be nearby using your cover fire to like help it. Because there's always a spot in between where you can guard the two checkpoints, but I find usually you don't want to prioritize riding the tower at first checkpoint unless if you realize no one else is. So in this case, you do have somebody that is riding the tower. So definitely do what Jem had suggested and find your spot on the left. And usually for me, I will perch on that left hill at the start until I know it's good to move in. And then with an E-leader, I'd move in with armor and then take kind of where the rail is for clam goal and just push back whatever can get fall off on to guard that second checkpoint even better in a more aggressive position. And then you just kind of go from there.
This raises the question, which I'm sure there's a whole discussion about this, which is who should be riding the tower. And the answers to that question are very map and mode specific. I guess in the other modes, nobody should be riding the tower. If that's happening, then please call Nintendo because something is wrong with your game. In different maps and at different checkpoints, there are different positions around the tower that need to be controlled for. So the frontliners' jobs, pretty universally, unless they're in a sort of scramble situation where players are down, is to push up in front of the tower and keep players so far away from the tower that they cannot contest it. That's ideally what the frontliners are doing. They're creating a defensive perimeter around the tower. So we'll go back to this here and zoom in, because why in the world is it that far out? So for example, if the tower is here, it needs to move this way. Well, if there's somebody here, or if there's somebody maybe like with a longer ranged weapon here, they can attack the tower and prevent the players from standing on it so that it can't move forward. And so once it's moving in this position, it is the frontliner's job to push up and take these players out or push them backwards so that they are out of these strong defensive positions that give them, vantage points on the tower. I wouldn't say this is exactly a strong defensive position, but it is something that I've seen some longer range weapons take. Like a rapid blaster might be able to hit over the top or something and have some cover. So that one's pretty situational. But something like this up here, for example, does pose a threat because it can flank around the side of the tower here. That's something that needs to get cleared out. And so a frontliner's job is to kind of, as the tower moves along, kind of have this bubble out in front of it where any opponent who breaches this bubble is immediately getting shot at. So that's the frontliner's job. But that still leaves a couple of players on the team remaining to actually push the tower or be ready to rotate onto the tower if the tower rider does get taken out. Because if I am a T-Tech player and I'm engaging in a fight way over here and then the tower rider goes down, it's not super convenient for me to turn my back on an opponent I have engaged over here to go all the way back to the tower and get back on. Because this player is just going to chase me, and I probably go down before I get to the tower, and even if I get to the tower, this player is now on top of me and stopping the tower push. So I still need to be engaging this over here, and it can be helpful to have maybe a support player who's maybe sitting further back and taking longer range shots or throwing bombs or something to be ready to rotate onto the tower if need be. The backliner can be the tower rider in some situations, and sometimes that's advantageous. Because if the tower is being ridden by someone who's got long range, then they can reach all the way forward to the front of this arc here and still have an impact on fights, even though they're also playing the objective. And that can be a really powerful tool to have in situations where the other team has all 4 members up and you're still trying to keep this push going. That can keep all 4 of your members impactful in fights and kind of prevent you from being sort of down a member because one of them is playing objective. But in some cases, like for instance, as Devi is pointing out, when the tower is right here, this is not a position where a backliner actually has a range advantage over most things. There are a lot of weapons that can stand up here and attack it. There are a lot of weapons, not even anchors, that can stand up here and hit down this far. And so in a position like that, where the backliner doesn't have the ability to use their range advantage, it's more advantageous for them to take a position further back where they can use their range advantage, maybe here, here, that kind of thing. And where they can now maybe rotate back up to here to use their range advantage and the height advantage to hit maybe something down here or down here. And they're going to be more of a benefit to the team if they're not the one who's riding the tower in that position. And maybe once they get to a different position, that's when they want to take it themselves. But because sometimes what happens is a backliner gets into a position where they can't hit anything anymore, and the frontliners are the ones who are up on the tower right now, and as the team, you need those frontliners to be pushing up and creating this perimeter. So that what happens in those situations is that a backliner will come up to the tower and get on the tower. And frontliners, if a backliner gets up on the tower while you're standing on it, that is their body language that tells you, get off the tower and go push up in front of me. I need you to go and do things instead of sitting here and admiring my shiny weapon.
I love that so much. It's too true.
So that's the situation we're talking about here. We're talking about who should be taking the tower and why. It's based on which weapons are going to be most impactful for getting the tower through the checkpoint that you're working on at that moment. So, moving back along. So the challenge here is that, again, like Devi was saying, this is not a backline-friendly position. And granted, you were trying to get out of mid, but you didn't want to be in mid in the first place because the charger is going to take that shot before you can get out anyway. So along we move, and oh hey, your teammate got a flank off, and the E-leader got so scared they fell off the cliff. So that's neat.
And the junior of all things, that's actually pretty brave. Good job, junior.
Yeah, that is kind of wild. Some battle junior stuff. Competitively speaking, you're generally going to see a junior play a lot safer and play to maintain their armor, so that whenever the team needs the armor, the junior is going to be ready to pop it right away. So making aggressive plays like that while you're still charging the armor is generally frowned upon in a competitive setting, but I mean, sometimes it's going to work out if you know where other players are. And this is solo queue, so you know, anything goes sometimes. Unfortunately, your sploosh got caught way out in the middle of street here. Just in the middle of a sea of enemy ink. Not really any business that they have being there, so there's not really much that you could have done to prevent that. And now the other team is going to get a push on the back of it. Your Neo Splash pushes in at disadvantage here, which is not really what you want to be doing. At this point, you want to be letting them get to first checkpoint, but be ready at first checkpoint to defend there. Pushing in right away doesn't give your teammate time to respawn, and that's going to stagger you. So the Neo Splash gets into some trouble. This is kind of a risky spot to be in, not because it's a bad position, but because your teammate just visibly went here. A lot of the time what might happen is somebody shoots at this location to try and pressure it, knowing your teammate is here, and accidentally hits you. That's something that has happened to me before. So you're lucky that they didn't like throw a bomb up over the top or fire some shots here or anything to try and displace this player, because that's something that could potentially have ruined your day. But you do end up being able to get some shots on. Unfortunately, the aim isn't quite there right away. I think right here, especially seeing that they're turned sideways, you have the luxury of being able to walk out just a little bit and get your target squarely on them before you release your shots. Because you end up firing a couple of warning shots here, and since you don't quite have the same angle to hit them, they get out of your line of sight a little bit quicker. I think if you step out and expose yourself just a little bit more, just enough to get a better angle, you delete this player and then you're able to back up before the charger figures out what just happened and gets a shot off.
Yeah, I was more worried about the E-leader than anything. I should have paid
Right.
more attention to that.
I think that's a valid fear, because like you do see the laser, but right now it's aiming at your teammate, and you have just an instant to be able to act on it. Like if you hit this player and laser them and delete them right now, you can probably actually get back behind cover before the leader does anything about it. Because like you can see the amount of time it takes the leader to reset their aim here. That amount of time is probably enough for you to take 2 steps to the left and be out of its range. Against Ice, you know, the backliner for Starburst, okay, yeah, don't expose yourself there. They probably actually just hit that shot instantly. But the player, with the way that they've been holding their aim, with the steadiness of it, you can probably get away with just deleting that player and then stepping to the side. Because even then, you know, you expose yourself a little bit later on. So right there, you do actually step out to try and take those kinds of shots, and even then they end up not quite hitting it before you're able to get around the corner. So this second attempt from the E-leader does actually show that you had the time to step outside and give yourself the right angle before they were able to hit you. So that's a small thing, and that's something that's kind of, you know, probably not a good thing to rely on. But I do think if you give yourself the angle to hit those shots, you can probably hit those shots and get that player down before the leader does anything about it.
A lot to keep in mind, but if you can always time their shots, like you can see when the E-leader shoots and hear it. I know I use sound cues a lot, so as soon as I hear the pow, I will peek for a split second and a half, do a little bit of damage or pain, and then go right back undercover until I have like a special or something that allows me to do it again.
Absolutely. This is really good awareness. You spot out of the corner of your eye that somebody is swimming around right over here. You realize that that must mean that if they're on this trajectory, you're the only player on your team that is a possible target of this push. And so you immediately get your aim on, take them out, and then you change positions. And I like that you're changing positions. The other team has started to respond to the fact that you're here. You have to anticipate that others of them are going to start shooting at that direction, especially as their teammate ouches from having been splatted. So I like the idea to move. The E-leader has pushed up, and so we see that they're over here. And this is a position where I do also like you rotating to the right. Now, unfortunately, I like you rotating to the right, but you put yourself in range of the tower here, and this is something that we don't really have to do, because we're at low ground from the E-leader, so we can be out in the open quite a bit right now and still be safe from it. So you can still afford to use your range against the tower. Like, until you can see like the tower is still moving, and this is on your heads-up display. This is information you have. You know someone's still here, and that they're a shorter ranged weapon than the E-liter, which means that they're going to splat you faster. So knowing that they're still on the tower, you can still keep your range. Like, I would maybe stand here or a couple of steps back and just hit the sides of the tower here and try to force them off. Because you know you have, I think, a teammate up in front of you right now. Yeah, you've got a teammate up on the hill that's going after the leader. You've also got a teammate on the wall. And if you flush this player off the tower here, one of those players is probably going to be able to deal with them. So even if you can't get the pick from there, I would definitely like stand back here, take the shots, clear them out, and only then move up, and maybe move up off the steps or something like that, so that you're keeping space between you and them. Because right now, you trade with this player when that easily would have been just a free pick if you had like the tiniest bit more range on them.
And now for me to actually say yes, you can do that if you wanted to. But also in the spot where you were at there when you stopped to actually like charge a bit and take a little bit of shots before you moved because you didn't think the angle was right. I could see it. You actually could have stayed there and still shot over, because you can hit the tower from there where you were at, and even like get fall off because you had another teammate actually going in to pinch the tower. Your entire team was right there. You can hit the tower from this point. You will still pressure them off. You had another teammate nearby as well. I did just see them. But
there's one
your team
right here and one right here.
Yeah, your team is doing really well at actually keeping the opponent back. Like, the E-liter's out of the way, so you can fire at this from a safe range, push them back, and then you can continue going right and playing the right side after that, instead of actually going down low where if they decide to chase you, you're actually at a height disadvantage, and it's then you'll have to cancel and run away again. This way, you can actually are free to stand here without having any fear of the E-liter, and you can contest tower just from this spot right here.
Mm-hmm. I do like that idea. Because like from this position, you can still win this fight against this player by just being a few steps back. But you've got a higher percentage fight probably taking it from right here. I guess part of it might have been that you were trying to respond to the rain being thrown. But I don't think that would have had to affect you that much.
Mm-hmm. You can still stand in the rain for a little bit before it's going to be too big of a problem. So release whatever charge you can, contest the tower, heal yourself, and then go back and do it again.
So with this much yellow ink underneath you, I actually don't really like taking the rail. Because for all you know, there's someone sharking in your street that's able to shoot up. Like, a Neo Splash could definitely be in your street and hit this. They're not there because we splatted them just now, but for example, the K-Pro would have a really easy time hitting you off the rail here. So if there's, the off chance that there's someone that you haven't seen, or if the E-liter is starting to line up a shot, this is like a big neon flashing sign that you've just put this rail here. And the fact especially that it takes you a second to get on the rail gives them more time to notice the rail. So this is really risky. They end up going for your teammate, but like that E-liter shot could have been you instead. And now there's just like no ink behind. Like, oof. Look at all of the paint around you right now. You have no escape route at all. If someone throws a bomb up here, you might actually just die to the bomb. If someone solo missiles you, which they can't do, but throws a booyah bomb maybe, you have no way out. So I would, if you're going to take this position, I would like come down from the left and paint it up so that if someone starts to rush me over here, I have that high ground and I can see it coming, and the E-liter's not going to push up that far in all likelihood. But the left-hand side is just not something that your team is playing very much right now, as you can see from this map check here. So it might be more advantageous to start moving over to the right a little bit to see if you can help with something like this engagement here. If you're going to stay on the left-hand side, what I would say to do is to paint first. Maybe try and get that armor, because the fights are going to be happening over here. The opponent's attention is going to be over here. Might as well try and get some map control so that you have a little bit more advanced warning if someone tries to push you on the left here, because I don't think you're going to do a lot in the way of getting picks. Yeah, that player right there, if they play their range better, like that could have been them splatting you off of the rail, that could have been them flanking you. They were just kind of like not aware that their weapon doesn't reach that far. At X rank, they're going to know how far their weapon reaches, because I think this was an S+ game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like the kind of play that I see in solo queue very often. So All right, so we got a little bit of map control in front of us now, which is nice. Now we do actually start moving over to the left, and you can see how immediately, as soon as they miss that one shot, you've completely cut your line of sight to them. So it was a little bit hairy that that shot missed, and you kind of got away with it, but now you're in a really strong position. You can see anybody who tries to come over from here. You have high ground on anyone who's trying to come from the left.
One other suggestion I need to add is once you get over here, I noticed you're not placing mines at all during the start of this fight. When you get over to the left side, there is a very key mine spot right in front of this block right here that you're about to swim by. If you mine right there, you're going to catch someone who's trying to pinch from middle if you're getting at second checkpoint. It gets them every time. So it is a prime place to mine.
Yeah, this spot right here, as a frontliner, there is... In order to avoid this mine, they have to go all the way to the left onto the bike over here and drop down from there. That is the only way that they avoid touching this mine and triggering it. And nobody is going to do that when they think that nobody's seeing them on a flank. So this is a phenomenal mine spot right here. And, you know, you could put one over here, I guess, but you're probably in a position to laser that position anyway. So, yeah, I think that's probably the best one that I can think of as well.
When you always find your next position to stand in and use your range to its advantage, I always find a spot to, like, what's the best way to put it? Mind the entryways, I guess, to the spots where you're the most vulnerable. One of them is this right side. The other one would be the ramp on the left. Because a lot of front lines will also swim up there to contest the tower. Sometimes you can catch it up, do the poke damage, and then your team will actually finish it off as they're taking the fight.
So this is a really dangerous area for approaching the tower, and this. And we're talking about putting a mine right here, which is really strong, and putting a mine maybe like hereabouts, I would think.
Because that you can see, because usually if you're on hill, you can see them drop from on top. It's the ramp just to the left of the second checkpoint.
So this one right here?
Yes, right
Gotcha.
there. Because front lines will just swim up that, they'll use the wall. Usually they'll just trigger the corner of it, and there you go, you got your poke damage. And because it's down hiding underneath, then you have the mine, you see where they're going to peek up from. Rather than the staircase, you can actually see them you can see their head up there. It's vulnerable and open. So where that left non-traditional position is, that is where another lot of midliners like to try to come around and poke at you with, but it's actually more open to them than it is like scary to you, because you can just turn and push them back right away. Meanwhile, the ramp, it's harder to hit.
So if we're in this position, then yeah, we're going to be able to see this. And so it's this area right here and this area right here. Okay, makes sense. And now I understand, because you have it flipped on your map here. You're looking at this as your spawn instead of this one. Anyway. So I would say you probably want to be taking high ground here, and I think your idea is just, I need tower, but you already have two people near it. One person is already on it, and having this many people clumped up is just asking for a collateral or a double bomb to happen. It's like, the problem with everyone being bunched up on tower, and this is something that B-rank players fail to accomplish all the time, I talk about this pretty extensively in that video, is that if you've got the tower here... Actually, let's make that a little bit smaller so we can use up more map space, I guess. If you got the tower here, and you've only got, like, one person trying to create a defensive perimeter, that's going to leave one direction open for everyone to immediately get to the tower. Like, nobody is being stopped from taking any of these angles to get onto the tower. If you only have one person on the tower, and the others are out, you know, enforcing a zone in this kind of area, now the tower can move on unimpeded, because before the enemy players ever even get in range to touch the tower, they're getting shot at. They can't approach from any of the angles that they want to, because they're going to run into a frontliner who's going to stop them from doing that. So it's much more powerful to have people leading the tower forward than to have three people all trying to sit on the tower at the same time. Even though it will make the checkpoint go through slightly faster, this just we can see this situation developing. So someone throws a burst bomb, and then a bomb gets thrown and whiffs, but you can see that they're trying to accomplish that. Bombs are starting to get thrown from either side, and nobody is stopping these players from advancing at all. One player gets up, and you are able to take them out. And so I think this ends up working out, but now there's rain on you, and there's somebody in the rain, and you have to immediately back up, and you don't get to go any further past first checkpoint. Now imagine that you're up top instead, and you see that player coming from a mile away. You get to pick them maybe before they even throw the rain. Even if not before they throw the rain, I guess that's the E-leader, so maybe you don't get to pick them quite as easily as that. But you're able to at least force them to look at something other than the tower. Like, if you're up on top, if you're up over here, that E-leader who threw the rain this way, now they have to both look this way at the tower and look this way at you. Because even though they win the matchup against you, if they like disrespect you and just like fire a shot in this direction from out in the open, you can still take them out. You do still have very, very fast DPS. So even if, you know, you're just looking over here like, hey there, Charger, and you're peeking out from around the corner and then ducking back and then peeking out and ducking back. Even if you're doing stuff like that, the Charger still has to pay some attention to you, and that takes a lot of pressure off the tower, and I think that that would be more impactful than you being the tower rider in this instance. What happens there? Is that... Oh, it's a bomb. Where's that bomb from? I think that bomb is underneath you. Yeah, that's unfortunate, because you're already damaged a little bit from the rain, and it's not fully healed. So then when you walk out over the edge, it hits you from there. That's really unfortunate, because I don't even see that bomb. You would have had to hear that in order to react to that effectively. I probably wouldn't be jumping into any of that. Yeah. Okay, good. It looked like you were hovering over them like, I'm going to jump now. Nope. That's not the time. And what's telling me that is basically, for those who, you know, aren't seeing what I'm seeing there, we'll go to the splat here. What I always check is, where is my teammate and where is their enemy ink? So right now... There's enemy ink right here, and we even know there's a player shooting at this player. So, shooting from right here, an enemy player. So if I jump to this player, you know, this fight might not be resolved when I jump, but what could happen, in theory, is this player splats both of these guys. And in that case, this jump is no longer safe, and I'm feeding them a third kill on top of that that's really easy for them to get. Jumping to this player is a little bit safer, but... Again, if this fight does go badly, this player can probably get up there in time to splat them. And it's even worse as that back player starts moving even further in. At this point, jumping in here, you are going to get splatted, especially since clearly this player has an advantage over at least one of your teammates. There's ink on like 3 sides of you, so you only have one escape route, and it would be back jumping over the top of this ledge. This is just a no-go. And the teammates are a little bit too desperate to get on tower, so they just all go down and leave you alone. Big sad. What I'm worried about for you in this position is if someone gets around you on the left, because what's your escape route? Your escape route could be to jump behind you, but then this player can just keep pursuing you in the same direction and you still don't have charge yet. You could jump over to the right, but the right is completely painted yellow. So if you're going to stand in this position, you absolutely need to lock down the left-hand side 100%. If you can't do that, you need to jump. And right now there's a player over here, and so that needs to immediately be the focus of attention. They hit a really good burst bomb behind you. At this point, you might want to jump out, because now that's an auto bomb. You get away from here, but now there's already somebody on top of you in range to hit you. And I would say you're lucky to get away with that. I would say that, like, if this player like chucks a burst bomb up over the top or something and pressures you even further forward, now they have a fight that they can win against you. So we're playing it pretty fast and loose there with the 3-down situation, because when you see this on screen, you do not want to be taking aggressive positions. Especially, you don't want to be exposing yourself in aggressive positions. Firing these shots, pretty unlikely to actually get someone right now, but definitely likely to alert the entire team to you. And since you don't have any other players on the field right now, you're the only thing that they have to look at. So you will attract attention doing this. And I think the Neo Splash could have been a little bit stickier, could have probably pushed a little more aggressively on this, but you do get away with it.
If they did, they definitely would have went down in the shots that were being fired, because I know that's something that I actually do this, and I take this risk a lot because I've practiced it a bit. But I will actually do something like this and drop back. I'll get half a charge and I'll catch the front line that is peeking this, and I will get the splat because I think the Booyah is going to save them. But
what I do as the frontliner here is I push behind the pillow.
Yes.
And that's what they didn't do.
Yes, that is not what they didn't do, but this is, I don't recommend doing this in the first place, but I can see where Apple may have got this from, because I know Apple watches some of the things I do, but I catch, whenever I go into solo or league, a lot of front lines don't use the pillow, so that's where I catch them out at.
Yeah, if they don't use the pillow there, you get to laser them down, and like that's an easy pick, and you did exactly right at punishing that. The problem is if they do take the pillow, which they had time to do, now you're in more trouble because you're still cut off from your exit, and the way to the right is still not safe. So you do a good job of recognizing that all of those players here go down. You see this player go down, and you immediately turn your attention to where these shots are coming from. And you wait to see if they stick around for too long. You get some good damage, get the pick, very nice. Right now, this is just entirely too yellow. I don't like that my team is even on the tower. I especially don't like that my teammates on the tower are not painting this. This should not be your job to paint, but if they're not going to do it, you should probably get this a little bit better under control so that they can move around a little bit better. I would probably, in this situation, just take like one full charge and just spray this down a bit, because this is not good right now. Their whole plan seems to have been wait for someone to push me and then splash down. Well, their plan has not succeeded in getting any picks, and now they're dead. So that's having a little bit of paint might have saved them there. I don't know if they would have known to use it, but maybe it would have, having seen that there was blue, maybe they would have gone for it. I don't know, but at this point they just have too many ways open because everything is painted around them. Right now, you've got the tower right here, so they're able to just push in right here and push in right here for free, because there is absolutely no paint in their way to stop them. If you even paint this one space right here and make it more difficult for them to get in this way, now they're funneled in the one direction, and everybody can look at this instead of one person looking here, one person looking here, having their attention divided, and you have a much better chance of defending against something like that. But without the paint, this push is doomed. And your teammates are still just rushing at the tower, and they're going to go down for that. You do a good job of taking advantage of the fight that they initiated and getting a pick out of it. Like, that's going to, like, not stop the bleeding, but at least, you know, take a little bit of something back. But teammates are staggering quite a bit right now. Again, what bothers me about this as a frontliner is that these are three of the best painting weapons in the entire game that you have on your team with you, and none of them are painting before they're going in. So they have the ability, in fact, you on your team have better paint than they have on their team, because they have a pro and a leader who can paint well, but is not going to most of the time because that's not what's best for their weapon to do. So, like, your team should be out painting theirs, but because they're rushing in and dying too quickly before they do any painting, they're not able to take advantage of what they had as an advantage in their comp. Nice. They do end up getting 3 down. It's just the leader. Now, if there's just that 1 down situation, my immediate thought for the next 3 or 4 seconds is, what do I need to do to protect the tower from that one player if they show up, if they decide to take a flank angle or something? And I don't think the positioning you're taking right now is what is going to be beneficial for you if the E-Leader is watching. Because the E-Leader is not going to be behind the tower. This is like a Neo Splash kind of play, to be coming up from behind the wall or something. The direction that you're taking the tower from gives you protection, you know, using this column, from what is on the other side of the tower, from where the E-Leader is going to be. So this is the most exposed direction you could be taking the tower from. Like Devi and I have been saying, you're probably better served taking a different angle anyway to kind of set up so that you can prevent the other weapons from approaching the tower, since you don't have a great matchup against the E-Leader. Being right here is probably lower value than other places you could be. So right here, nobody's really watching left right now. We do have someone watching right. So, like, yeah, it's going to be useful to know where the E-Leader is, but knowing that the E-Leader is way over there now, we can probably give our full attention to the left-hand side. And in this position, again, you want to be using your range. You want to be making it so that if somebody's going to engage on you, you are definitely going to be able to hit them before they hit you. Like, walking off the tower and dropping off it is absolutely a good play, especially since you already have a teammate here, if you're going to be able to get back on soon. Because I don't know if you know this about tower control, but the tower is still counted as being in your possession for 5 seconds after you get off, as long as an opponent does not get on. So dropping off the tower, even in an overtime triggering situation, isn't the worst idea, as long as you know that the tower is clear and it's not going to get jumped on by someone else. And so since you've already got a teammate on there anyway, you probably don't have to stay there and just die on this bomb. And unfortunately, it looks like your teammate does end up getting caught out by those bombs, and nobody's able to get there to support it. If you had been in a position where it just gives you the best fight against this player and you can laser them down, you might be able to take them out and relieve some of that pressure on the tower instead of just going down with it. So, do you have any questions for us, Apple?
Apple is actually not in VC.
Oh, not in VC anymore. Okay. Well,
Difficulties, but I can ask because I have them in DMs right now.
Oh yeah, sure thing. Anything that we can address immediately. I'm gonna go and run and grab a snack real quick. I'm getting a little peckish, but see if there are any questions from Apple, and we will definitely address those as soon as I'm back.
Yeah. Also, hi chats. You now have chair stream and Devi voice. uh, I'm doing all right, Silver Shadow. How about you? Jump back. It takes a lot of practice, especially in the current meta. It's definitely not easy to fight. Like with me being basically a one-trick Hydra at this point. Like I started playing the heavy Splatling in transition, so.
Man, I feel like I'm being like how a little kid is when they like with taking bathroom breaks on a road trip, where it's like, well, Jem, why didn't you eat a snack before you started streaming? I didn't have to eat then. Anything from Apple?
Really not as much because there was a bunch of difficulties with Apple's device, but they got like the gist that the positioning seemed off and kind of the general things, and I'm like, with this case in particular, it's not going to be the things you really know how to do with your when fighting a weapon that counters you like an E-liter. You have to do like plan B, which is not being face to face with it, or you face to face it but play out its range. So this is actually plan C, which is playing beside it and using the cover so you're not in its range. So it's a completely different start on positioning. So it's stuff that you don't particularly take, but it's actually still more advantageous to you. So it's traditional but not at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a couple of decisions down the flow chart. So it's a little bit specific in terms of the knowledge that you need for it. Okay. Really appreciate you giving us the footage to go over, Apple. We need to move on because it has been a good long time, and Brady still needs their VOD review. So, we're going to get started here. This is a Splat Zones match. I don't know exactly what power level this is at. I want to say this might be C rank. It could be B. But I think that's a lower power level overall than you're going to find in A. So it's one of those two. So, oh, we've got sound on. I didn't even realize that. We're going to turn that down a little bit. Brady here on the K52. Jem here on the bagel. So the first thing I want to talk about is this painting technique that we're using here. So as the match starts, we're trying to get out into mid as fast as we can. And what we're kind of doing here is like jumping up out of the ink a little bit. And I would recommend not doing this. Now, let me really quickly switch over to gameplay so that I can show you the difference here. Something that I will do here, because Brady is... I'll only mention this once. Brady is playing without motion controls on, and I always recommend that people use motion controls. They are objectively better. The only reason not to use them if you are trying to improve, and I mean, I'm trusting that Brady is trying to improve because he's asking for a VOD review here, is if it makes you like motion sick. So like, for example, some people were saying that watching the painting technique that I showed about the tri-stringer in Splatoon 3 was giving them motion sickness. That's a valid reason not to use motion controls, all right? Don't play this game if it's going to make you throw up. So, like, there are some valid reasons not to have motion controls on, and I'm not going to, you know, harp on it any further. But if you're going to have them off, let's talk about how to go about painting for yourself in that situation. So what Brady's sort of doing here, and I'm going to be a little bit worse at it because I just have less practice on the sticks. I've been using motion control the entire time I've been playing the game, so this will be a little bit imperfect. But what Brady's kind of doing is keeping the camera pointed down a little bit and then doing this. And the thing is, the little hops are not actually making you go faster when you do this. They're actually slowing you down because the time you spend in the air is keeping you away from being in your ink to swim in it. So like, we take a look at this line that I've painted here. Here's how fast I swim through it. And here's how fast I kind of like bunny hop through it. You can see that it's significantly slower for me to get from one side to the other. And that's because it is faster to be swimming in your ink than it is to be jumping through the air. So you will sometimes see me, you know, swim to the edge of a line and then jump and paint. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to have to paint in front of me anyway. I'm going to have to, you know, get some paint down on the ground in front of me. And in the meantime, I have two options. I can either be like walking or even just standing still, and I can do it that way. Or I can jump out and be painting and then go back to swimming. And while jumping is not faster than swimming through my ink, jumping is faster than just walking on the ground. So at the edge of my ink trail, I'm going to jump and paint like that and do this sort of thing. And that is a valid way if you're moving into area that you haven't painted yet. But what would really be better for you, and what is probably fastest, is to paint a line, swim to the edge of it, paint a line, swim to the edge of it, and do this sort of thing. And that's going to get you out into mid a lot faster than what you're doing in the recording that you've given me here. So if you're going to, you know, do the sort of movement that I was talking about, what we're talking about is you just keep your reticle level, you fire a little bit, and then you jump and fire again. And then you jump and fire again, and you do that sort of thing. That's relatively quick. You could also just kind of walk forward. And as soon as you've painted your feet, you start swimming in it. Usually takes, I think, 3 shots for the splatter shot to paint its own feet. So that's what I have to say about the movement technique, and we'll move on from there. All right. So we see that our team has taken control of the right side zone, and we're going to start moving on to the left. I like that you realize, oh, I need a splash wall here, and you decide to throw it. A lot of people, you know, when they first get used to a weapon, they don't use the sub-weapon as much. Here, I think you could know a little bit earlier that you were about to be contested, because you can see right now that the entire left-hand side zone is painted. So what you want to get in the habit of doing is, as soon as you know that somebody is probably going to contest you from a certain direction, get the wall out there earlier if you're going to want to stand there and fight it. You could be throwing the wall right now, and then by the time you swim up to it, it's already deployed and ready to block shots. A wall doesn't come out instantly. It's not going to stop the shots as soon as you throw it. You need a little bit of time for it to deploy. And so right now, while you're not in danger, you can start deploying it so that once you do get in danger, it's already deployed. So here, what ends up happening is a baller gets popped. And we can hear the sound effects that that's going to make. We also see the baller on our screen, and we hear the sound of it rolling. So we immediately paint our feet and start moving backwards, and this is the right idea. And we see the baller here. We take a shot at it. Like, it seems you're very aware that this is here. But then you push forward into its explosion radius. And if I had Brady on the call, I'd probably ask him, like, what the thought process was there. Maybe they're trying to, like, go forward and get behind their wall or get behind this pillow to protect them from this. But definitely don't have time to be swimming forward here if we're trying to avoid the baller explosion. So that's why we go down there. Unfortunately, the rest of our team goes down. They're probably going to cap the zone and have control for a bit. In this moment that you're swimming back into mid, this is where I would be map checking, because I know that there's no way I'm in danger yet. And so this is a perfect time to start collecting information so that you know, oh, the opponents are trying to control the right side, or they're trying to control the left, or they're all over the place. Right now, we see our teammate is sloshing down over the zone. We don't really see what they're sloshing at. They might be aiming it at an opponent, or they might just be trying to paint. If we tilt the camera up a little bit so we can see over the ledge, we might be able to get more information. So it turns out there is somebody over this ledge, and they take your teammate out. If we had gotten the information that they were there earlier, we might have been able to maybe come around the right-hand side and shoot them from here. We might have been known to avoid going up on top of this, because this is now a really dangerous spot, and we have to back up. So collecting information earlier is going to help you in this position, where you showed up, we're looking at your teammates' back, you couldn't really see what they were aiming at or anything. Once we use the camera to gain that information, then we can actually start acting on it and do something proactive to help our teammate before our teammate gets taken down. So right here we throw a splash wall. And what we're trying to do is kind of gradually, bit by bit, move forward across the bridge. Now, the thing about this is that you put the splash wall a little bit before you get to the bridge. So when you're trying to push to the bridge, you have to push in front of your splash wall. Being in front of your splash wall is always a dangerous thing, because as soon as one player throws one lethal bomb at the front of the splash wall, they splat you. Because it hits the splash wall, detonates immediately no matter what kind of bomb it is, and now you're right in front of it and in the blast radius. So you want to throw this a little bit further forward so that you can swim around this corner and actually be protected by the wall. All right. We've successfully taken bridge. This is a really powerful position for most weapons in the game because it gives you height advantage on opponents in front of you, to the right of you, and to the left of you. And to the right of you and the left of you are both positions that are important for controlling the zone. In this position right here, we have a heavy remix right on this location. If there are no players in this area to stop us, one possible play is to push across the bridge and engage the heavy, because as soon as you get just in front of your splash wall here, you have cover from the heavy. They can't hit you all the way around until you're in range to hit them. And so this would be a great way to be able to use cover to close distance with this heavy and prevent them from stopping your teammates on the right-hand side here. That's one idea. Now, I would want to know what's going on the left of me before I do that, because if I turn my back, you know, looking to the right-hand side, if I turn my back on these players, that's a recipe for disaster. But this could be a play that you start looking for. Let's see what we end up doing. One thing to be concerned about, though, is that the heavy remix has seen your splash wall, because this is a very visible thing to be right on the center of their screen. So seeing this, they might be alerted, and they might be starting to take a more defensive position where they can see around this corner. We end up not going for it, and we end up turning around and looking for the baller, I think. So we end up dropping down. Now, something that you'll get used to more the more you play is that the splash wall that you're throwing out there is going to go a set distance in front of you from where you throw it. You cannot throw it directly at your feet like you can throw any other sub-weapon. It will definitely go a certain distance away. So if you're landing right on top of this player and you throw a wall, it's going to go past them, and it's not actually going to end up protecting you like it does there. Another thing that makes me concerned about this push is that there's a lot of orange ink right here and a very small patch of green ink, so you don't have a lot of ink to work with. And there was also a heavy remix standing right here that has range to hit this angle right here if you do drop down. So you could be dropping into enemy ink into a 1v2 situation for all of the information that you've been able to collect about where your teammates are so far. You're also at a numbers disadvantage as soon as you do this. One of your teammates is down and all four of them are up. So there aren't a lot of advantages to dropping off of the bridge at this time. This is something that I was noticing while we were playing as well as in the VOD. You use the in-game communication options a lot, and some of the time it's difficult for me to determine as a player, you know, and granted you could probably explain this to me and I'd be like, oh, okay, I understand why you're saying that now, but as somebody who maybe is playing solo queue on your team, I look at this booyah and I'm wondering, why are they booyahing? I don't really know what they're trying to tell me. And that sort of communication that probably isn't going to get the point across is probably to be avoided, because what's happening on their end is they're getting this sound effect and they're getting this visual thing that pops up on the corner of their screen. And if that's not drawing their attention to something that's really important, or, you know, boosting their morale or something in a way that they understand, you know, celebrating an obvious victory, for example, is a good time to booyah, because then it makes them feel good about the play they made, and that has, you know, its advantages. But this booyah right now is a 2-for-2 trade, so I can't really tell why we're booyahing. There's only one player who's effectively in play because you're still respawning. So if anything, your team is coming out at a disadvantage after this. And so it's not celebrating an advantage. And what I'm worried about is that it ends up being distracting to them. That the word on the screen, that the sound effect ends up drawing their attention away from something that's important in that moment. So we put the wall out, and the wall unfortunately lands just a little bit short of where you can safely hit this player from. If you swim just a little bit further forward before you throw this, yes, you have to be in heavy range for a short amount of time while it's deploying, but they're shooting at your teammate right now. And if you put the wall just a little bit further forward, that gives you the ability to get in range to actually hit them from behind the wall. Right now, this heavy is out of your range, and you have to push in front of the wall to be able to go after it, which means that it looks like they only have one lethal bomb here, which is kind of lucky for you guys. But if the Tetris, for example, were to throw an auto bomb at the back of this wall, they just splat you right off the side of it, and that's the danger of this. I do like this wall a lot better. That actually cuts off this corridor. Unfortunately, there's someone on the bridge, and the heavy ends up taking the far right-hand side here. So if you want to take this fight, and I don't blame you for just backing up out of it at all, but if you wanted to take that fight, the way you would have to do it is by sitting right up on your wall so that it's blocking this player, but you also are blocking this player, and they have to go all the way around to the right of you. And so then you can kind of walk left and right, and if you walk left, you're defended from this player. You walk right, you're defended from this player, and you just have to hit your 2 shots on the heavy before this player can, you know, shred your wall or something. You move over here, notice a fight that is in progress that your teammate is a part of, and realize that this player is distracted, and you do a fantastic job here of noticing that this player is shooting at your teammate, not at you, and taking them out. This is a beautiful 2v1 play. I made a whole TikTok about how to make this kind of play, and you execute on that really well. So that's an awesome job. Ooh, whew, that's a little bit close there. When do we hear this? We hear that the baller is happening there, and now we immediately want to be turning our camera around. And I think you actually do start turning your camera around as fast as you possibly can because you're not using motion controls. With motion controls, you can get this information a lot faster and know what to do. But one thing I would definitely say is as soon as you hear that sort of thing and you're worried about an explosion, you want to stay closer to cover. Let me draw a little something here to explain. So we don't really need to get the same map, but it'll look nicer this way. So this is reef zones. Okay, so you're right here. If you're right here and the baller explodes from here, the baller is still going to hit you. Because here, let's zoom in a little bit and get a little bit more specific about this. So, we need this. Oh my god, it's so big. Ah! Okay. Boink, boink. So, baller hits at about this range, and then everything else gets cut off by the corners of this cover here. Now, if you were in this position, the baller explosion in this position is not going to hit you. And if you're in this position, and the baller does actually go a little bit further around the corner so that it can hit you at this angle, you're closer to being able to get back around this corner to cover than you are if you stand right here. Since you are, oops, wrong one. Since you are this far away from the cover, the baller is going to hit you around the corner, when if you were pressed up against this wall, it's definitely not going to hit you. And you're also closer to this side of the wall, so that even if it did get close enough to hit you, you're going to be able to get onto the other side of it and be safer from it. Now we're just out in the open. Even though the baller doesn't splat us, this player now has immediate line of sight on us. Whereas if we had been around this side of cover, this player now has no advantage on us, and we can continue to either retreat or keep the fight going and wait for teammates to support us or something like that. The communication options here again are probably a little bit distracting. If you go down, one ouch ping is enough unless you are especially worried that there is a teammate specifically right near that location that doesn't know that a player is there and needs to very soon. That is the only time I will double ping. But something that's also important to realize is that double pinging does not immediately trigger. When you press one of these communication options, it will just stay on screen until, and go through its normal animation as if you had pressed it once. And then it is only once it completely vanishes off the screen that a second one will trigger. So tapping it over and over again like this isn't even going to, refresh it or keep it on screen any longer. If you're going to press it a second time, the only thing that's going to be impactful for you is if you wait until it's already off the screen and then press it again. And in that case, you didn't really need to do that. All right. So we roll out into this position now. A teammate is already engaged on the right-hand side, and we've got another team that's headed in that direction. So we start head over there ourselves. This player is engaging this player, which means it's probably safe for you to go and try and take an angle to take this player out and create a 2v1 between this player and you versus the heavy. That's what I would probably be focusing on right now, because if the heavy wins that fight, they get to pinch you. If the heavy wins that fight, let's zoom back out now and undo all of this. Heavy is about here. Your teammate is here. You are here. You've got a teammate here. And you've got an enemy player up on top here. These two are engaged. Congratulate them. The ring looks lovely. No, these two are fighting each other right now. Which means that this player, if they were to decide to stop you from going in this direction, this player would immediately get shot by your teammate here. This player is going to get shot by this teammate. So you are much safer right now going in this direction and taking this off angle on this heavy and pinching them between you and your teammate. The risk here is that if this player were to take your teammate out right now, what's going to happen, this is why I don't like using X's, I have to delete them twice. What's going to happen is that now the heavy is in this position, and another player is here, and they are shooting at you from two different angles, while you guys are all in one place for them to look at. They only have to look in one direction, you have to look in two. And that's an advantage for the enemy team. That's an advantage that wins them the fight, that forces you at best to back up most of the time. So what you need to do here is turn it into a one-front war. What you need to do is take this player out of the equation so that now everyone can just look in one direction, and it's only this player who's in their way, and that's going to allow you to be able to push into the zone and effectively take it back. So that's what I would like to see you doing here. So we end up pushing in, trying to get to the zone. We do need to get to the zone fairly soon, only 14 ticks left. So we end up going in here, getting threatened and popping a booyah to save ourselves. With this booyah, what I would want to be doing is putting it as close as possible to these players, or more specifically to where these players want to go. Because right now, you're leaving the arrow spray a lot of room to be able to swim away from this. They can definitely escape in this direction in front of you. Whereas if you'd put it a little bit further to the right, maybe centered it on the pillow here or something like that, now they don't have time to run over this way, and they're forced into a position where they're either going to get splatted, or they have to run in a direction where they don't want to run. Now, you do end up getting them anyway, but because we didn't clear out the heavy, they are able to take you out, and the arrow spray could have escaped if they had played that a little bit more carefully. So your team gets 2 members down and recaps the zone. That's clutch. They have a really big penalty now, and so you have all the time in the world. This way here is... I like the booyah. The booyah is actually very merited here, I think, because you just managed to save the game, so that's awesome. I don't understand the this way, though. you're in your spawn. You don't want your teammates to look in that direction nor to go in that direction. So I don't know what that this way can possibly mean here. And that's, again, something that if it's not going to mean anything, it's going to be distracting to your teammates, and you don't want to draw their attention away from the fight that's still going on in mid. Also, one booyah is fine, but spamming the communication options all the way down, your teammates are still engaged here. They're still fighting with someone, so you don't want them to like turn their attention away from that when there's no danger that you're in, or that no opportunity that like looking at you presents to them. Right now, you're 3 players down. This was your last teammate alive, so you're the first one up, and keeping awareness of what's on top of your screen will help prevent you from pushing into situations like this where you're going to be outnumbered and you're unlikely to be able to hold your ground. Right now, you're in a lot of trouble because there is a heavy Splatling still in position behind you and a baller in front of you. You're one of the best weapons suited to surviving in a situation like this because you have the splash wall. But even here, like, this is the counter, getting damage on both sides of the splash wall. If this heavy hits their shots, you should go down. And you do, in fact, end up trading, even though you're only fighting an arrow spray. This is a weapon that you should beat every single time in a 1v1. But because of the position that you were in, because they had supporting fire from around the other side of the wall, because you didn't have teammates with you when you were engaging on that, you didn't have paint control, all of those advantages added up to the point where the arrow spray was actually able to trade you back. And this booyah is very confusing to me, and honestly, like, that's actually a very poor time to booyah, because all that has just happened is that your teammates have died. So I don't see what your teammates do have to celebrate, and what they might interpret this as is sarcasm. Sometimes I have seen some booyahs launched in places where, like, the whole team went down, and someone's like, oh, great. You know, they're using it sarcastically. And if somebody interprets this booyah that way, that might actually start to tilt them. So I would definitely refrain from doing that in a situation where nothing good has happened recently. Very good fight there. So you are engaging by yourself. This is a very risky engagement to take. If someone were sharking here, you would already be splatted. But you managed to get onto the zone, and I really like the way that you play into your splash wall here. You notice, oh, this player has an angle on me, and you immediately move closer to the splash wall so they don't have an angle anymore. And you move there long enough for you to take them out, and then you stay behind the splash wall so that blocks this player's shots. And you probably did have enough time, if the aim was absolutely perfect, to actually laser that guy before they got you. But you do the next best thing, which is you realize, oh, my aim isn't going to be on in time. Let's press the panic button. And you get a booyah off. Your teammates are able to come in and take out this enemy who is clearly very committed to you, who cannot disengage very easily. And they get taken out. So this is just a really good solo play here to be able to win this fight. And then I would probably want to put that booyah like so that it lands on top of them a little bit sooner, because they can probably like run straight towards you, and that is exactly where an arrow spray does the most DPS. So you probably wanted to prevent them from doing that, but you get the right idea here. You splat them with the booyah bomb, or with the shots into the booyah bomb, and you're able to cap the zones, which is awesome. So now, I think you saw some orange go down behind you just now. That's probably not something that you noticed. I didn't notice on first watch. But now you realize that there's an opponent behind you on the right. Now, if you didn't know that this player was here, turning around and coming back in this direction is actually not what I would have recommended. I would have recommended continuing to push forward into the opponent's side, because if you push out into this angle here and to like maybe get behind this block or something at least before one of them respawns, now you can stop them from getting to the zone before they're even able to paint it. It's good to have control of the zones. Let's delete all of this real quick so I can show you. It's good to have control of this area where the zones are, but if the opponents can immediately, I'll use a different color for them. If the opponents can immediately just come this way and be painting the zone right away again as soon as they have all of their players respawned, you don't hold the zones for very long before they get neutralized again. If instead what you do is you get control of all of this, now, even if you lose your fight, the opponents first have to come down here, they have to take you out on this position, then they have to paint up enough of this so they can get close to the zones to be able to paint it, and all the while that any of those things are happening, even if it's going absolutely as bad as it possibly can, the timer is still ticking down on the zones. You're still scoring. So you would rather push further forward and lock them out further and further away from the zones than back up to over here and let people back into the zone right away from the front door. Again, that's if you don't know that this player is there. As soon as you know this player is there, that's something you have to worry about. I do like that you move over to the tree. The tree is the only option you have for cover here. And once you get behind it, you can definitely right side peek around this and make it very hard for them to hit their shots, while it's a lot easier for you. You end up, I think, being able to get them because they run out of charge and they just try to hop away, and there is no way that they do that. What they should be doing here is charging up a little bit more and trying to get enough charge to splat you from there. You do give them enough time that in theory they could have splatted you, but overall well played as soon as you see that they're there. Being out in the open right here, they should be able to splat you, but as soon as they've missed these shots and you've made it to cover, this is now an advantageous fight for you. From here, again, we've won a fight. What we want to do is press forward. We want to be that forward guard that keeps the opponents from even being able to get close to the objective. And right now we're just kind of sitting on the objective, which is exactly how they're able to get as close to it as they are and how they're able to regain control. I generally like the idea to have a wall out there. I think so the player who's shooting at you is up here on the right, and throwing this wall doesn't actually protect you very well from them. What you wanted to do here is throw the wall in a position like right here and stay pretty close behind it, so that way you can shoot around the left-hand side of the pillow, and the only player who's able to contest you is going to hit the wall as they try to do that. As it is right here, where the place you throw it there's nobody shooting at this angle that this wall is going to protect you from. Maybe if this player backs up, it's protecting you from them, but you're already indicating that you plan on engaging them on the left, so you aren't as worried about them, and so this isn't actually protecting you from anyone based on where it's placed. And we end up missing enough shots, and part of the reason that we go down here is not just because the arrow spray hits shots first, but also because you were damaged earlier by the 52, who was taking shots over the right that wall would have protected you from if you'd thrown it differently. Don't know what that arrow spray was thinking. You guys have a 4v2 advantage now. In this position, where you have a 4v2 advantage, you're almost certain to be able to find a safe jump back into play. The extra time that you spend swimming into the map here is actually pretty important. This is about half of the time that it's going to take the enemy team's players to respawn. So if you're able to jump in and save yourself that extra 5 seconds or so, that puts you in a position further forward on the map so that you can meet your opponents sooner, and you'll score more for the reasons that I described earlier, that you're keeping them further off the zone. I'm not sure what the booyah is. I'm also not or this booyah. I'm also not sure why we're standing still there, but maybe you're just kind of adjusting your hands or something. I don't know. So we start pushing in. We know that there's one player here. So that's the first thing that I'm worried about. And I'm not going to shoot at this player because they're not looking at me. They're shooting at someone else. I'm not going to shoot at this player until I either am in range of them or I know that they can see me. Well, I guess you would want to shoot if they saw you and you weren't in range of them. I'm not going to shoot at this player until I'm in range of them. So maybe if you're trying to sneak up on them and get a pick, you maybe slide right over to here and try and get some cheeky shots up over the top. That is risky because if you miss and they do hit their shots, you're exposed. You have no cover. but they are aiming at your teammate. So if you're confident you can hit these shots, I would swim over to here and maybe just take that guy out right away. But then this other player drops down and is immediately shooting you. At this point in time, you don't want this fight. The wall is not in a place that's really going to defend you from either of them, because one could come around the right and the other could come around the left. You're still stuck. You want to get out of here. You do manage to get one because they just kind of stand still. Now we need to get away from the baller. A wall is not going to come out in time to protect you in that situation, because again, the wall takes some time to deploy. It seems like you're trying to throw the wall in response to the baller so that it will protect you. But for one thing, it's not thrown at an angle where it will actually stop the damage. For another thing, it's not going to go fast enough. So your defense here is just to move backwards as soon as it starts detonating. It can't move while it's exploding, so you're perfectly safe to just back up. Nice pick. They're just kind of standing there, not really sure where you are, and shooting, which means that they don't know where you are, you know where they are. That's an advantage. You can exploit that to get your aim on before they can and to take them out. So really well played there. You notice, I think that maybe you don't notice that there's a player jumping in on that side of the zone. So seeing that there's an arrow, I'm gonna back it up 5 more seconds. You get this here. So right here, you can see behind the pillow over here, there is a super jump that's about to land. And this is on your screen for a good long time here. What you might want to do is maybe get yourself over to here so that you're in a position to be able to shoot that jump as soon as it comes in. Being on the right-hand side works as well, but the reason I say the left is that you keep your height advantage that way. If you're here, you have fewer places that you can retreat to. If there's a player in the place that this guy ends up being on the left-hand side, what could happen is that the area behind you gets painted, and now you don't have an escape route except to try and come up this wall. And coming up this wall, this player is going to be able to close distance on you and catch you before you get up the top of it. So better to be at the high ground where you can't get trapped by these walls here and to take the shots from there than to be taking it from the right-hand side. You also run out of ink, and this is something that you want to be recognizing a little bit sooner, just so that you can maybe recharge enough ink so that you can start taking fights. But you probably do go down to this. No, your teammates are able to come in full force and save you. Dropping right here on top of the arrow spray takes away the major advantage that your weapon has on the arrow spray, which is that you have better range, and the arrow spray also has much better DPS, much better damage per second. It does more damage when it is directly on top of you, because it's less possible for shots to miss. If you back up against an arrow spray, it doesn't take very long to get out of their range, and even during the time that you're getting out of their range, their shots are much more likely to miss the further away you are from them. So dropping right on top of them like this takes away that entire advantage. And for a lot of this fight, you actually, I think, you might be shooting your teammate instead of the opponent there, because I think you can get shot blocked there. So that is a really good shark right there. You sit down in your ink, deny the opponent's information about where you are, move around, and then as soon as you notice that they're engaging on someone else, you take the shots and take them out. So that's pretty well played there. And your teammate takes them out. Very nice. And that's a booyah for sure. And now we pop armor. That's going to help us in that fight. Again, the wall. One other thing to know about walls, besides the fact that they have a set distance that you're going to throw them in front of you, that distance is affected by slopes. If it hits a slope, it will deploy sooner and further backwards than, in this case, you wanted it to be, because standing behind this wall puts you well out of range to be able to hit this player. So from here, I would swim all the way up the hill and then maybe put the wall down right here and swim around the left side of this block to try and engage on this fight. So now we turn around over to the right-hand side, because we're anticipating, I think, that someone's going to be on that side. And so it seems like the plan here is, like, when we have zones, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on one side and splat someone here. And then we're going to go all the way back to the right-hand side and try and splat someone here. And then we're going to go back to this side, and we're just going to keep zigzagging back and forth on the zones so that enemies come this way, and then they come this way, and then they come this way, and we're stopping them every time. I propose a different solution. The solution I propose is that you and your teammate, who have already taken a good advantageous position here, keep pushing forward, like so, and the teammates who are over here keep pushing forward, like so. Now, the opponents who are coming in are getting stopped much sooner. They're getting stopped here instead of getting stopped here. And on top of that, even if, for example, somebody does get through in this direction, if somebody is able to, like, take these players out of the picture, you still have an advantageous position on them if you come around from this side, and if that's the direction you have to go. You can always, of course, like, back up from here, too, if you get pushed back. There are a lot of options, but you're not really completely sacrificing this side if you continue pushing in this direction. And you're also going to stop them a lot sooner and prevent them from getting to the zone more effectively if you're not letting them get all the way up to the zone before they ever get contested. Now you're kind of pinned down in mid here. This is not an advantageous place to be taking a fight. They caught you rotating back and forth between the zones, and now there is a special on its way that you're really worried about. Now you see in the upper left here that there is another player using a Booyah Bomb. If this player were to throw the Booyah Bomb at your feet, which is what ends up happening, the only safety that you have right now, especially since they're going to get their Booyah Bomb off first, is to stay in your Booyah Bomb before you throw it and use the armor on the Booyah Bomb to protect yourself from this. So as soon as they start throwing it, as soon as you hear that whoosh kind of sound, what I would say is stay in this mode, wait for the Booyah to happen around you, and then Booyah so that you don't lose the armor until you've armored all the way through their Booyah Bomb. Because now, because you throw it straight down at your feet, and you're still getting hit by it, you just get splatted. So, you do end up doing enough damage to that opponent that threw the Booyah Bomb that your team trades it back, but now the zone is neutralized. Another player of yours goes down, a third player of yours goes down, 2 of you are back in play. Ooh, this is a tough one, because you need control of the zone in 10 seconds. And so you're probably like a little bit panicked right now, like, oh no, we need to clear it. But you actually should probably wait. If you wait for 4 or 5 seconds and then engage, your teammate has a chance of actually being back and being in that fight. And you still have enough time to actually paint one side of the zone and at least neutralize it. But you probably didn't have time either way, because that teammate is only just now getting into play. And you would have had to cap both zones. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, no, I don't think the timing was actually quite right for that. I don't think you actually... You probably did actually need to engage in that 1v2 or 1v3 here and try to win it. So let's talk about how we could potentially have done that. Because obviously this is not a position you expect yourself to be able to win. But let's see if there's anything we could have done to make it more likely. So that player goes down there. First thing you want to do is just paint your feet and get out of here. Because if you start re-engaging right now, you have no escape route. As soon as this player gets their shots on, you're dead. So you want to be able to back up and hit them while they're not hitting you. It's especially important to minimize the damage that you take in a 1v2 situation like this, so that the one player's chip damage doesn't allow the other player to clean the kill up afterward. You do threaten that player and they back up, and this player is out of play here for the time being, but the wall is about to go down, It does go down here. So what I would probably do is try and take the high ground on the left-hand side instead of pushing around the right. If you're going to push around the right, hug the pillow a lot tighter than this so you can right-side peek it. Because the way you're walking forward into this, you're very exposed around the corner, and they're going to be able to hit you right away without having anything in the way of their shots. They do take you down, and that is going to probably be the game here. All right. Take a quick look at the finishing results here. All right, yeah. So pretty high KA game, and you're showing a pretty good understanding of when you have a teammate with you, how to take a fight while you're working together with them, and that's awesome. Some things to work on this particular weapon are where you're placing your splash walls. Maybe just kind of go into the training room for a little bit and work out exactly how those things go down so that you know where they're going to land every time you throw one, and you know that you're going to be in range to be able to sit behind the wall and still hit something. To cut down on the unnecessary communication options, and to overall, once you have an advantage, to be pushing that advantage forward instead of just sitting right on the objective and waiting for the opponents to come in and collapse on you. You don't want to get pushed from here and then from here at the same time. This is not the place you want to be while you're taking this fight. What you want to do is push up so that the fight is taking place off the zone and take a position where maybe like here, maybe like here. If you get far enough up, maybe here. Maybe you can sit behind this area here. And you want to be taking a fight from a position where you know you can win, rather than being stuck in low ground where you going down will paint the zone for the enemy team, and they immediately have access to the zone even before they have to fight you. So I'm going to check the chat really quickly. All right. What do you think of my stick controls? I always recommend not using stick controls. I think that motion controls, I know that motion controls are objectively better unless you get sick from using the motion controls or something like that. So I would definitely recommend switching to motion controls if you're interested in improving and you don't have one of those medical issues with it. But, you know, as you're doing about the best that you can given the circumstances. I know I was having some trouble on max sensitivity using the motion controls, but you need to be able to turn around pretty fast in this game. And so I would work, if you're going to stick to motion controls, on trying to increase the sensitivity as high as it can go so that you have the ability to turn your aim around a little bit faster than you do here. All right. So thank you, Brady, for giving me more content to put on the Twitch channel. No, thank you for being willing to be criticized in front of a bunch of other people. Same to you, Apple. I always say it, but that's not the easiest thing. If you, viewer out there, would like a VOD review, what you will want to do is, on my links here, go to the Discord server, and in that Discord server, you will find me in the upper right, and you can send me a DM. And it is Discord DMs that I will schedule these VOD review sessions through. And that way, you know, it'll be easy. You'll already be in the Discord server where you're going to be able to voice chat with me and everything like that. I am going to double check really quickly. So let me click into this. I don't think I have anything scheduled for... Yeah, I don't. I don't have any VOD reviews scheduled for the 6th. And that makes sense because that is 3 days before Splatoon 3 drops. I'm thinking instead... so instead of doing a VOD review, I want to try something that I've seen ProChara do and that I bet I can beat him at. Well, I want to do a guess your ranks stream. So what I'm going to ask for you guys to do is I'm going to put out a tweet, and I can go and start working on that right now. I'm going to put out a tweet asking for you guys to submit your gameplay footage to, like, just put up a YouTube video or something. And make sure that in that footage, you cut out the parts where it shows your ranks. And maybe the parts where it shows your names, because I know what some of you are. And I want to see if I'm able to guess, just based on watching the gameplay, what ranks you guys are at. Because I think that I'm one of the best people in the community at doing that. I did make the How to Get Out of Ranked series, where I talked about specifically what habits people have at different levels. So I think that could be a lot of fun. And I will very shortly, once I'm able to, think my way through the wording, get it posted on Discord. I'm going to post that on Twitter, and I will also mention that it's there on Discord so that you can go and find it. And then on that stream next week, we can go through those in the event that we don't have anyone to VOD review, because I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. And we can have that be what we do that day. Also, we have an event coming up on the 4th, so even before next week. And I'm going to put up a quick announcement about that as a reminder to those of you who don't remember it already.
Mark your calendars.
Right, so team's ready for the Squid School graduation party. On September 4th, the Sunday of the last weekend before Splatoon 3, we're going to swarm a league battle rotation together and see who can get the highest league power. We have a time picked out to be EU friendly and a time picked out for NA, but you're welcome to play in whatever rotations you want, or both. The more the merrier. No registration necessary or anything, because the results will just be the leaderboard for that rotation. It's a great opportunity to try playing on a coordinated team if you haven't before. I'll be playing too, with my competitive team during NA hours, and with some familiar Squid School lecturers during the EU time slot. Hope to see you there, and everybody are gonna run and tell about this event right now. So, Jim, it's not on YouTube. I'm not sure what you mean there, Banky.
I don't know either, because it showed up on both screens for me.
Okay.
In fact, the YouTube's one's actually faster for me.
All right, so hopefully there weren't any technical difficulties there. But graduation party is happening very, very soon. If you don't have a team worked out in the Discord server, we do have a channel called Team Recruitment, and that would be a fantastic place to go and post looking for the kinds of teammates that you'd like to play with. All it is a league rush. All you got to do is enter league. You don't even need to tell me that you're going to be there or anything, but we're going to have a big stream, and it's going to be a really good time. And I'm going to be there with my competitive team for one of the sessions, and with some familiar Squid School faces for the other one. So looking forward to seeing all of you guys there. That is all we are going to have for the stream today. Thank you guys, all of you, for watching. We are going to send you guys off to the Barry. We've rated him a number of times before. Longtime member of Element R and one of the top streamers in Splatoon. So y'all should know a thing or two about him by this point. Stellar Charger main. Definitely a good person to talk to about how to learn the game. And also a very good commentator. So for those of you who are not watching on Twitch, if you want to be a part of that raid, hop on over into the Twitch chat now so that you can be a part of that. And let's tell them that school's out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Waits 10 seconds because you have to wait 10 seconds to be able to click the raid button, even though you clicked that you want to raid. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, here we go. We're raiding. Bye, everybody.